Last session, you ventured into the relative wilderness away from the cities to find a runestone for Professor Gaius. After a
Yes.
short journey, you located the crypt, but it was not in the state you were expecting. It was opened, partially damaged, and recently occupied. After an investigation, including a short combat with a large spider ogre, or spoga, you concluded that the object you were after was likely taken by the previous interlopers and resolved to find them. While on that trail, you camped in the wilderness, but during the night you were attacked by an orcish raiding party who overwhelmed you handily. Zigga managed to slip away into the darkness, pursued by the orcs very briefly, and while the orcs inflicted significant damage to each of the rest of you, they were seen by Zigga actively healing the party before binding them and hauling them off to places unknown. The raiding band walks on with three of you on their back. You are awake, but you can't understand their language, but you get the vague vibe of it. The one orc who fell to Tulip is being mocked occasionally, but they are talking as if with a purpose in general. They are taking absolutely no steps to hide their presence, either confident that nothing here is going to challenge them, or uncaring if something tries. Zigga is at a safe distance, close enough to follow the voices without much trouble, but far enough that he's not in any immediate danger. The rest of you are currently stripped to your skivvies, bound and being carried by the three uninjured subordinate orcs, while the apparent leader carries your equipment. Would you like to try and do anything at this point?
The answer is probably no. Is everyone gagged?
Not gagged, but like, do you really want to be making a huge noise with these guys?
No. The answer is no. But I'm just gonna take a gander at my spell list. The answer is still no, but it doesn't hurt to look. But no.
You definitely
I,
can't somatic cast. Verbal is fine, but you can't really move well enough to somatic cast.
yeah, the answer is no.
I guess maybe we should try and figure out what they're saying if we can.
None of you are fluent enough to have Orcish as a language,
Nope.
but I guess a good enough society roll might let you glean some words.
Sure, why not?
Fuck it.
See if I pick up on anything. And let's see if we get savanted by Amber as usual.
Well, now that you've said it.
Oh, that's better.
That's better.
Yeah, see? You didn't even need me.
Cool.
That's not bad, though.
Tulip doesn't get anything. Chris, you're fairly sure that they are talking about taking you back to their main camp. They might have said the word eat. They might have said the word kill at some point.
Sure.
They're definitely talking about a specific person. You get a name in there, but it's a bit hard to tell what that name is. But there's definitely a proper noun coming up every now and then.
Sure. Does it like sort of stick out in the language, just like how, like when you're speaking Chinese or whatever, and you have to say an English name?
Yeah.
It just sort of...
They're definitely speaking their dialect's version of the name, but it's like butchered in a way that that sticks out.
Sure.
It's clearly it's clearly a common name originally.
Sure. Okay. I mean, we're just sort of being lugged along, right? So there's not a huge amount I can do, and I actually can't cast without Tabit, so all I can really do is wait.
Can you not cast at all without Tabit? I thought you had to prepare with Tabit, but could cast without.
I thought I couldn't cast at all.
Let me double check that.
He will fume silently.
I mean, Tulip's pretty much doing the same thing. Just trying to subtly vibrate with rage, but not do anything.
It just says using your familiar as a conduit, your patron provides you the power to cast spells.
I'm gonna say that you can cast without the familiar, but you have to prepare with.
Sure, that's fine.
And if we find something to the contrary of that, or that starts fucking stuff up, then we can revisit it.
What does somatic actually mean, by the way? Does that mean gestures?
Yeah, hand movements, most
Yeah.
commonly.
Sure. Okay, fine.
Okay. Is Zigga going to try anything, or is Zigga just going to continue to...
I'm not going to make any actions until the party does, and even
Okay.
then, depending on what they do, I may not want to reveal myself though either.
Sure. In that case, if no one's going to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
then eventually the raiding band approaches what seems to be a fortified encampment, and within its barricades you can see another dozen or so orcs.
Keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Here's what B is thinking.
Hey, look, it's Ruthless Knave, I think.
Possibly.
No thoughts, only Angie.
Yes, it is Ruthless Knave.
Hey!
Nice call. So the guys who are carrying you come in at the bottom here. I think it was one of these boys that was one of the Ruthless Knave boys was the one that was cut down.
Yes.
They're gonna get a sad face.
They've been bullied a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
They started it.
I mean, you aren't wrong. They did.
They did, and they also finished it.
Listen here, you little shit.
So you are being carried into a fortified encampment. It looks pretty grim here and very orky.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I can't do anything realistically
Just
right
giving
now.
plenty of opportunity if you want to Rambo.
Rambo with my hands tied behind my back. You know what? If I could, I feel like a badass, but I'm pretty sure I can't.
You think that's probably not going to go particularly well?
No, Chris isn't that daft. I don't think. I hope not.
When he's not drunk.
In that
When
case,
he's not drunk.
I love the idea that he gets really rambunctious and violent when he's drunk. Like it doesn't happen often, but every time he gets drunk, he ends up in a fight.
I see.
Yeah,
He's Russell
sure.
Crowe
no.
fighting around the world.
Thought we raised him better than that, but you know, some things I guess are just nature, not nurture.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Tulip wouldn't know anything about interacting with orc-like peoples with her barbarian nature and everything, because I feel like headbutting one of these guys to establish dominance is the right move, but I also feel like that's the stupidest thing.
I don't know. I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that they have some balls you can kick at some point.
Mm.
I don't want to kick their balls. I want an honorable fight where I bash their heads in with my head.
You can always do that when they're on the floor.
Yeah, we can keep that in mind, I think. But if no one's going to do anything immediate, then the warband carries their captives inside over here into a pit similar to the one outside the previous crypt, and indeed carry you inside a very similar structure. Make sure I move you to the wrong thing here, or there's going to be the right thing, or there's going to be spoilers. And they carry you over here and dump you in, let me reveal the room, one of these side chambers.
Sure.
But not Zigga, because Zigga isn't here.
Yeah, Zigga's I guess, gonna be milling around the outside of the camp as close as he feels like he can safely go.
Mm-hmm. And then they block up the door.
Well, Tulip would like to check if the other two are okay.
He seems fine, despite the blow in the back, or several blows in the back.
Yeah, wounded pride, but Chris is probably fine.
I'm just gonna go over here and be angry for a second.
Zigga.
What?
Yeah.
An orc comes to the front of the camp and calls out into the darkness in heavily accented common. Catboy, give self up. Your kin are mine.
That was great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna immediately go.
Okay. They know you're
Maybe.
out there. Well, they assume you're out
Yeah.
there. They're pretty confident in where they are, so yeah.
I mean, the fact that they know that I'm there means that there's little benefit in continuing to hide, other than the fact that I'm not captured.
True. I mean, they don't know how to. They don't know where you are to come out and get you, but they're assuming you're within earshot.
Well,
Would any of the captives like to try and do anything while they are in the dark and cold crypt?
Sure. How dark and cold are we talking here?
It's very difficult to see even with low light vision, and given you're not particularly dressed, you're shivering a little. It's not deadly cold,
Okay.
but not pleasant.
So, sure. So there's no light source here. We're still bound, I'm assuming.
For the moment, yes.
Sure. Let's see.
There is an action, I believe, specifically to get out
Yeah.
of bindings.
Yes, I'm trying to see where that is. I'm assuming it's either
I think
thievery.
I think it's just called escape.
Okay.
You attempt to escape from being grabbed, immobilized, or restrained.
One impediment. This is typically athletics DC. You tap acrobatics or athletics instead of using. Use your unarmed attack modifier. Okay. Or you can use acrobatics or athletics.
Or
Okay.
thievery if you're tied up.
This is typically the thievery DC, not
Oh,
the.
sure.
You don't use thievery. Test it.
I'm with you.
Sure. I'm assuming that I'm probably not going to be able to get out, but I would like to see if I can maybe free up a finger to get some light, basically. To wiggle my
Sure.
finger. The answer is no.
Oh, sad times. Very sad times. You don't have a whole lot of luck with that. Tulip might be able to bust out of these, though.
Okay.
I will try. Is it athletics?
Probably for you, yes. Oh yeah. It takes a bit of work and a bit of effort and a bit of groaning, but you managed to bust your way out of your bindings. They weren't
Damn it.
particularly tight. The orcs were more relying on their physical prowess to give them an
Cool.
upper hand.
Can I untie the other two?
Yeah. Give me another couple of rolls.
Athletics again?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's a bit tricky fumbling around in the dark, but you manage it.
Cool.
Sure. For the time being, if we haven't heard anything else in this room, which I'm assuming we haven't because we can actually see as players,
Yep.
she's going to mutter a couple words under her breath and cast Dancing Lights again.
Okay.
Just to see what the room is like.
You see what is present. It's another one of those crypty rooms. All
What is the
slabbed
door
up with
look-
corpses.
Oh, great. What is
No.
the door like?
The door is stone and heavy and probably barricaded.
Rude.
Even if it isn't barricaded, there's a couple dozen angry orcs on the other side.
Yeah, I figured.
I just want to punch it hard enough to leave a hole so they know I'm not fucking around.
I mean, you can
Dear.
you can punch it if you want. I'm not gonna stop you.
You can dance if you want to.
Is that
Don't-
athletics or
Don't
strength?
leave your friends behind.
Dancing is
Oh,
actually
of course not.
check.
It would be an unarmed attack roll
Oh.
against a door. Is that to sing
That's
that song?
B. Yeah.
That's the
Oh, lol.
Oh, I've forgotten how to do unarmed.
You might not have a thing for on.
You might not have an unarmed. Roll D20 plus, I think, 7 for you.
I think just roll your weapons accuracy.
Yeah.
And then it's lower.
Oh, fuck. Wait, how did I fuck that up? No, don't judge me, please.
Judging.
It's being
No.
recorded for all eternity and
please.
possibly streamed.
No.
No, it's not
There.
being streamed right now.
You hit the door. Roll a d4 plus strength for your damage.
Okay, what is my strength?
The hardness is probably higher than the damage
Is
you
my
can do here.
strength the 4 or the 18? I'm sorry.
The 4.
Four. Mod.
Okay. So roll D. What was it? I'm sorry.
D4 plus 4.
Plus 4.
Okay.
Standard unarmed damage. Oh yeah, no, you whack that door. It doesn't seem particularly damaged, but it was definitely audible. And the orcs, they know that you are angry
Good.
and not necessarily afraid.
Chris has just sort of been watching what's going on and like rubbing at his wrists where he was tied up. Been kind of unimpressed. He sort of stands up, like tries to brush himself down, then like goes off into just the corner and prestidigitations like an area to be not covered in crap, and sits down. And it's like, we may as well wait, guys.
Surprisingly, actually, the area is fairly clean and not too dusty.
He prestidigitations himself. Then fuck it.
Sure. The corpses are still skeletons in bags, so that's not so pleasant, but it's not outright filthy.
Like, we aren't going through that door. We may as well wait. Sort of stretching.
Mhm. Cat-like? Have you?
No.
You've not picked up some.
Prisms.
No. It's like because he's been getting carried around. It's when
Yeah.
you've been like sat down for an extremely long time or whatever. Like, does anyone have any idea where we are? Like, which direction were we going? I can't even. Like, I have no idea.
If you want to know, that would be a survival from someone.
Sure.
I can try.
Oh my god, Tulip.
Holy
Good
balls.
I have a modifier of 4 on survival.
Oh my god,
Boom.
Chris.
Yeah, we did it.
How lost B is, that's all. Pretty lost.
B is fairly sure that she's underground.
Chris and Tulip share one brain cell, but sometimes that's enough.
Yes.
It's a useful one.
You're fairly sure that you've been traveling west and you haven't crossed the river.
Traveling west.
Mm.
Also, out of character. What were we originally? We were going there for a rune stone, right?
Yes.
Like, and they weren't expecting any real scariness going on.
Correct. It should have just been an abandoned tomb.
Do I remember any rumors of like a bunch of orc bandit bastards like kidnapping people or whatever? I'm assuming because Chris spends a lot of his time in the bar and whatnot. Yeah. Does he remember any rumors of these people?
Recall Knowledge Society, I think.
I don't know how. Do I just roll society
Yeah,
for
just
that?
roll Society. If you have any other modifiers, like that fun feat that you get sometimes, the unreliable knowledge one.
No, sadly no.
Sadly, no.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah,
Chris.
apparently I can roll dice today.
You can. There's always rumours about the border regions. They're known to not be as safe as the well-trodden roads.
Right.
But, like, there haven't been any specific, there's orcs coming and we're all gonna die rumours.
So there's not been like rumors of like kidnappers and whatnot, because that's kind of what I'm trying to get into, like kidnap you, sell you into slavery vibe going on. So
not that you heard from the capital before you left, and not that you remember from Sternov's Light or from Norhau, but you weren't there particularly long, so it's possible that you just didn't overhear it.
Okay, that's fine. But they're not well. At which point they're not well known enough to, be causing rumors everywhere. Okay. Does anyone know what they even want with us? Like, he is asking everyone this. Like,
I mean, maybe it has something to do with the runestone we were supposed to find.
But
how old do you think these skeletons are?
Then you young
looks
lady.
at the skeleton. Very.
Probably. So the bones probably aren't strong enough to make a shiv out of then.
I don't know. Also,
But
did you say we've been stripped down, Tom, and we just like in underwear or whatever?
You are currently in your underwear. Yeah, they have
Sure.
spared you that dignity at least.
Yeah, he was more thinking about like, does he have his knife? Because he does actually have a knife, and they wouldn't have known because he never fucking uses it.
Yeah. No, they took the opportunity to thoroughly disarm you, I'm afraid.
Hang on. Let me check something. Can one of my little shitters get us out of here?
I will remind you again, there are 24 orcs past that door.
No. Just like take us through a wall.
Ah.
Like phasers or
That
whatever
would
the
really
fuck.
put a crimp in my plans, but go for it if you want.
I mean, that would be badass if I could do it, but I don't think I can.
I think Task Wall is like a 5th or 6th level spell, so unlikely.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. Okay. I mean, I don't have anything else to do, so I guess I wait.
Waiting is a perfectly acceptable answer.
He is going to
Tulip
sulk.
gets to hear.
Sulking
That's
is also an acceptable answer.
That's like
Crystal,
when
like, are you
Zigga
sulking
really
in the
does
corner?
not think that they intend to kill the party. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of actively choosing to use potions to heal them.
Reasonable.
So he is willing to mill around and doesn't think that his friends are like in imminent danger of death.
Okay.
Especially since they asked me to come in, which leads me to believe that they don't intend to kill them.
Or they
Right.
wanted to take you without a fight.
Yeah, I mean that's possible, but
But they would
it
probably
doesn't
win that fight, let's be honest.
I
mean, even with surprise.
I love the idea that Tabit like straight up walks through the door, walks up to the nearest orc, and sort of says, "Can you take me to my idiot human?"
What was Tulip doing, sorry?
Tulip is staying right here watching the door, practicing.
Practicing, oh god.
watching doors. you could say.
Okay. Well, you are in fact left there in the dark and in the cold for what seems like a very long time, though it is hard to keep track of things. But eventually, you hear a heavy scraping at the door, and it opens. Beyond which, you see a bunch of very... Why can't I select that? A bunch of very angry-looking orcs. And the biggest, foremost one beckons to you and says, "Come."
Fine.
We'll glare at him. I would like to, with like no reasonable consequence, like no reasonable things I can actually get out of this, but I would like to try rolling intimidation.
Sure.
Actually, I'd love to do that too.
A little bit of revenge, but I also don't roll well enough for it.
Go for it.
Can I do it too?
Yeah, go for it.
Big girl? Oh, no.
Tulip,
Probably don't look
please.
great.
No.
No, come on, no.
No.
This is to assert dominance.
This is
No.
Just a little. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a
no.
little bit.
Tulip tries to give a bit of a growl, but it comes out more like a whimper, and it just doesn't. Like, unfortunate voice squeak. It all went wrong.
I'm gonna kill everybody.
But he sort of walks up behind her and it's like, it's just all the dust in the air, don't worry about it.
Some late puberty.
The orcs direct you
Still
to...
making wise quips, sorry.
The orcs direct you to the back of the crypt, where you see a very severe-looking young human man, his eyes sunken and his cheeks gaunt. His gaze is steeled, but he looks like he hasn't slept in days. And his voice booms louder than should be possible, echoing around the stone room. "Come and kneel before me, weaklings."
Eat a dick. What do you want?
Well, you just answered the question for him. He wants to eat a dick.
Do you all go and kneel?
I'm not kneeling.
You're not kneeling.
Chris sort of walks up and is like, have you seen my cat?
Silence, peasants, on your knees!
Wait, how tall is this guy?
Like 5'9" probably.
Can Tulip bend over so she's eye level with this punk, but not kneel?
Yeah, absolutely. And then an orc comes up behind you and kicks you in the back of the knee.
I bite him.
Oh, oh my god.
Oh no.
This is like
Just
Oh,
watches all
no.
this and it's like, they grow up so fast.
Hold
Tab
on.
it. Tab it.
Hold on.
it's all gone wrong.
Wait.
Let's roll that.
It's all gone
Does
wrong.
that hit you?
With no armor on.
With no armor on.
I don't know, what would I need?
What's your dexterity modifier?
1?
Okay,
So,
yeah. That's not actually an orc neck splitter, don't worry. He just punches you around the back of the head. For 4 damage.
Oof. B will wince, hold back a a chastisement, and she will very reluctantly, still glaring at the orc that punched Tulip, she will get on her knees.
Yeah, Chris will follow suit, but he's still like, tab it. Not really paying a lot of attention.
The human at the top nods approvingly as you kneel, and then looks to the orcs and says, "Leave us!" One of them begins to protest, but the man points at them and they quickly just shut up and stomp out reluctantly. And you hear the tomb door closing behind you. And as soon as the door closes, the human's iron-forged demeanor just completely collapses. His hands disappearing behind his hands. He's like, "Oh, fucking hell. Oh, Christ above. Please tell me you guys know how to fight."
Are you fucking serious?
Please, can you fight?
He blinks a little bit in with some surprise, but she kind of understands what's going on, at least vaguely, and she nods and says, "Yeah, but I don't think we can take on an orcish warband or whatever this is."
I mean, it's fucking better than fucking nothing, innit?
Chris is still trying to find his cat. And
Damn,
he
it
sort
is
of
not.
Yeah, I know, she's not appearing. But he sort of turns briefly back to the guy and it's like, man, does that facade actually work on anyone? How is this working? I guess that's why he's not been taking it very seriously, because my immediate reaction was, fuck off.
Well, they're not very fucking smart, are they?
Obviously.
Yeah, no, the video I posted and off topic is just literally Tool net right now. Is just, if you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking kill me.
Well, they'd probably be willing to do that.
Yeah,
I get
she's just gonna stand up and be dead-eyed and be like, "Where do you want me to begin?"
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them fucking out there. And there's only like 3 of you.
I mean, preferably she needs a sword.
Oh shit, your stuff. And he goes over here into this room and then comes out with all of your stuff and just gives it to you.
That's a lot of stuff. Does he have positive
That's
focus or
really
something?
cool. That is really cool of you, my guy, but do you want to explain what the fuck is happening here?
Oh shit, right. Right. My name is Trevor Orbach, and fuck, I mean, hopefully I'm still a student at the University of Know-How. And I was doing some field research into ley lines when these brutes jumped me. I had a few magical items on loan from the university. I managed to injure one of them enough to get some space and just fucking blag the shit out of it. Convinced them I was a big, powerful elf wizard. They're really fucking dumb, right? They don't seem too worldly either. They can't really tell a human from an elf. But they were like, well, I was like, I'll give you power if you work for me. But there's only so far you can take that fucking ruse, right? So they kind of brought me here. There's a lot of magic shit going on here.
What is this place?
There's a crypt.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no
what
shit.
crypt? Where?
B is going to I think can I potentially is this thing glowing at all or something like that?
Very, very faintly, yeah.
Sure. So she's gonna I think she's been looking around just because this looks very much like the other crypt that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to just take like a step this way and peer behind and sees like some of that.
Mm-hmm.
B is going to say to the other two, I think this is another one of the crypts that's of the civilization we visited.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, they will have got you at a Zickerite crypt, right? Elsewhere in the region.
she nods.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I needed them to try and find me help. I tricked them into getting people who we could use for a sacrifice. I'm not going to sacrifice you, don't worry. There's no sacrificing going on here. I tried to make sure they weren't going to fucking kill anyone they found. It seems that worked out.
So the potions were you're doing?
Oh yeah, I told them I needed you healthy.
Well,
So why not just pretend to
that
do some weird voodoo on us to scare them? You said they're like simple, right? Are orcs superstitious?
Yes, largely. Most people are kind of superstitious. Magic is
Fair enough.
real, after all.
B is going to ask, did you have some sort of plan? Like, is there anything we can use here?
Well, I mean, I've got like half a plan. There's enough magical shit in here that if it was all destroyed at once in a compacted space, the release of energy should be quite significant. But I mean, if you're anywhere fucking near it, you'll be subject to those energies too. I can create a bit of a barrier, but it's barely enough to protect myself.
Why is there so much magic stuff here?
Well, because I've had them all out collecting it for me, haven't I?
Right.
None of it's particularly fucking useful. It's just little trinkets and stuff, but even that needs power.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you realize that you're a stupid man.
What are you on about?
No, Tulip.
They
And,
jumped me! They weren't meant to be there!
And you
Be-
convinced them that you're some kind of god wizard.
Well, it was that or have my head roughly separated from the rest of my body.
Oh, you baby.
B still doesn't look happy for obvious reasons, but after getting dressed again during the course of this conversation, he's gonna say to Tulip, I think he was doing his best. Let's not be too harsh on him. He did. We are here and we are mostly unharmed.
Thank
So
you.
that's-
Fine, you two are the smart ones. What do we do?
You can't share it, Mag?
Well, yeah, because I'm not there.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
sure.
B is going to just walk around real quick. Are all of these entrances barred or closed, kind of thing?
They're
Or-
closed but not locked.
Sure. She's just gonna push open a couple doors and peek in just to see if they're kind of structured the same way as the crypt. She thinks it probably is.
Yeah, very similar.
Sure. Okay. And she says, well, where's all the maybe we can make the other half of the plan. Where's the stuff that you were talking about?
Ah, it's in here. And he gestures to where he got your stuff.
Sure.
And this would appear to be where he has been staying, or been kept, perhaps more accurately.
I see.
And he gestures to all these boxes and stuff at the bottom. This stuff. I mean, it's not a bomb, but we can make something happen with it.
Sure. And she asks, how many of them are there? I think we saw. Actually. Would you call for some sort of check to kind of recall how many we saw coming in, or?
Yeah, give me an int check, just flat int.
Sure. I will have a better thing to roll for this after level 2, but
Oh no.
she'll try to remember, but it was kind of a blur.
Yeah.
We'll just ask him, how many of them are there here?
Oh, like 25, 30?
And I don't suppose you have any way to move faster than them. She's gonna keep walking around to examine the...
Not on me, no. Maybe if you gave me a couple of days, but I've been trying to stay alive down here. I haven't had time to prep anything.
Is there any kind of illusion or silly thing we could do to convince them that the sacrifice went wrong or something?
I've been using most of my power to try and keep them befuddled and keep this facade up. You think my voice is really that powerful?
If they,
Sadly,
Oh,
I'm
you're
not an
right.
illusionist.
B will also comment, if things went wrong, I don't think I don't think they worship him. That probably wouldn't end well.
He goes back and slumps in the throny-looking chair.
Mm-hmm.
Is this thing up here the runestone?
Oops, that didn't reveal. Probably because I had the wrong... No, is that reveal? No, that's hide.
Walking around.
There we go. Is which thing up where the what stone? That is a big crystal similar to the one that was in Bartholomew's office.
Mm-hmm.
And it is on a plinth that is quite similar to both the one from the office and the previous crypt. You were expecting the runestone to be set in the plinth.
Does that seem to be the case?
Yes, there are a few runestones set in that thing.
Okay.
Do we
when you
need the
say-
specific one from the previous script, or?
You don't know.
When you say set in, do you mean like they're glued in or something like that kind of equivalent, or are they like just placed there?
You would have to give it a tug to be sure. Trevor's looking at you weird. What the fuck
B
are
is
you
going
guys
to
doing? We've got a problem here we need to solve. You're looking at the fucking furniture.
Could you
and
speak
B
to
is
us,
going to
please?
say.
Why
What did
is Julep so aggy with him?
Comes with
As
being
Tulip's Anki in general.
comes with having barbarian rage in your blood. Let's see. So the B's gonna comment kind of offhand. There was, I don't know if you saw this, but they've been studying something like this back at the university, and there might be something we can do with it. I don't suppose you've had a chance to examine it at all.
Yeah, fucking ages, mate. You don't want to touch it. That's half the power in this place. I'm kind of hoping it'll chain react off the other stuff.
That makes sense. That is, I guess that is the.
We need to see if we can get Zigga here or get to Zigga one way or the other.
Who's Zigga?
Our
Uh,
brother.
our fourth. He wasn't picked up with the rest of us.
Well, bully for him, I guess. I
Okay.
can send him out to find him.
He won't come with them willingly.
He's probably going to stay clear of them. So, although, if you do that, that might split enough of them up. Help. I don't know if we want them all together for this, but
If
Wow.
you let one of us go with a small party to get him, he might come, and then we might be able to. At
We're
least-
meant to be sacrificial little lambs. We're not going to be like guiding a party of them.
But think about it. If he sends one of us out, it's humiliating us. He's establishing dominance over us, right? He's making us do his bitch work.
B is going to say, I don't think we actually want Zigga to consider coming with them, though. If he's probably more useful as a out there, so that he knows about the situation than in here with us.
Right, but if one of
not
us
that I
was
would
with the party
appreciate
to
it, but-
search for him, then, they could team up with him to take out some of those orcs, potentially.
Trevor comes
He's-
up here and has a look at the things you were looking at.
Sure. B is going to spend a minute casting Identify, or whatever that was called. Read Aura,
Sure.
just to get the school of the magic.
It is... Oh, let me remind myself exactly what the schools cover, because it could be one or two of them, and I want to get it right. Is it tradition or is it school that you get?
School, so like abjuration or whatever like that.
Sure. Where the fuck do I find the list of spell schools? Here we go.
If it's based on a spell in particular, you can just type like search it, and then there'll be a tag there. If it's not a specific spell, then
Okay, it is a bit fucky.
okay, a bit fucky.
A
I
bit
like it.
fucky. You're feeling a bit of divination, you're feeling a bit of enchantment, you're feeling a bit of necromancy. This is a complicated object.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. That is completely reasonable. Da, 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 da.
And from the magnitude of the aura, you can tell that it's probably something above a student's pay grade. So
Sure.
that probably explains why he hasn't been messing with it too much.
Okay. B is going to turn to him and ask, "Do you have any experience in blowing up magical trinkets?"
Well, not experience. Like they teach you how to safely disenchant things pretty early on at the university, and they tell you what not to do. I figure we
Okay.
just do all of the shit you're not meant to do, and they'll probably blow up.
That's a good start. And I guess we don't have to necessarily go over this in character, but like, what are some of the examples of things that you got to do to blow things, to maybe blow things up?
Well, you've got to like kind of.
Is it just damage basically, or
I mean, you can do it by damage, but that would probably involve you being fairly close to it.
yes?
The general process would be like you would undo the layers of enchantment in the order that they were put on, and that would do things with the correct energy levels. Blah 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 blah. There's a procedure to it, and if you don't follow that procedure, and it goes well, then you just lose all of the energies. But if you don't follow the procedure and it goes badly and it cascades, then the
Okay.
thing next to it will also get badly disenchanted, etc., etc., and then you would have a whole lot of energy in an enclosed space, which is a bomb.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is not a codified mechanic. So can I assume that if we discuss this for a few minutes, kind of thing, we can kind of get a good sense of
Yeah.
how we would need to do that?
Yeah, you can figure that out.
Okay, sure. It's probably not a good idea to actually touch this crystal, even if it were movable at all.
He's going to disappear off in here again and have a root around in some of the boxes.
Sure. And while he's gone, B is going to turn to the other two and say in a lower voice, "What do you think?"
I think he's a tosspot.
Other than about him.
What about the plan, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than trying to walk out, which is kind of our only other option.
Mm-hmm.
I could take him hostage, potentially.
Take who hostage?
Freaking Trevor.
Yeah, but that will just demonstrate that he's not as strong as the orcs think he is, so they might just attack us. Like, this whole thing is quite tenuous.
Mm-hmm. See.
My real concern is, where's the rune stone?
Oh, there's a couple like embedded like here.
Yeah, but I mean, can we just take those ones? Like,
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. Like if we touch it, it might screw with something. It's also not the one from the crystal in that guy's office, so it might not even be appropriate in the first place.
I kind of want to
Right.
poke it.
I mean, he could probably make use of them anyway, but
Can I poke
don't
it?
you're poking the crystal.
Yeah.
I mean,
B is
I
probably
guess you can.
try to stop you if you do that, just because it seems like a bad idea.
As far as I'm concerned, you can poke it.
What would I need to do to poke it, Tom?
Declare
Get
that you're
past the-
poking it.
I'm poking it.
Okay, the crystal kind of wobbles where it is, like half suspended in midair, and then returns back to its resting point.
Hmm.
Bee has taken a step and her arm is outstretched, but her eyes go to the crystal, and she slowly, somewhat sheepishly lowers her arm. That could have been dangerous.
Trevor comes back out and he sees you poking at it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You
That's
crazy?
We're experimenting.
Are you experimenting with getting both your arms blown off?
Yes.
That's going to make it real hard to get out of here alive. Look here. And he holds up one of the rune stones that isn't embedded in the thing. You're looking for one of these?
Yeah.
I wondered. I figured. I remembered there were a few they brought back from the other crypts. I don't know how
Any
much.
idea they want with them?
Why? They don't want them. I just told them to bring back anything that looked magic. I wasn't really
How
keeping...
many random like bits of wood and stuff did they bring back?
You don't even want to know.
Yeah.
But-
B is going. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on. That's fine.
B is going to kind of interrupt their conversation as they did out of character, and ask, how far do you think the explosion would go?
Hard to tell. They'll take
Okay.
out whichever room it's in for sure. We can't really move a lot of it from where it is. It's all old and unstable and crap, and halfway towards blowing up as it is.
I see.
But what's the plan? Like, get them all into that room, close the door, and set it off?
Well, get them all close to the room, close the door, and set it off would be good enough. Yeah.
Do we have any? Do you have any illusions that you can make look like you on the chair on the throne there?
Not that'll stand up to that scrutiny.
Not maybe not immediate. Maybe not anything close up, but from a distance even. Like she gestures at like that half of the room.
I don't know if that'll even get to him with the explosion.
Okay. Let's see. And I'm assuming, out of character, I'm assuming there's doors here.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
Okay.
If you remember from the information packet you were given from the university, these crypts are known to be pretty fortified.
Right. Yeah.
So the door should do a good enough job of containing the explosion long enough for it to actually explode, rather than just blow a bunch of hot air out of the room.
Sure.
Tell them to like gather up around it or in a room and prepare for the sacrifice.
Well,
Make them like hold hands with their eyes closed or something.
what do you think they are? Naturist elves?
Look, man. All right.
No, I figured, like, if I could get them all to gather up around the chair, that'd probably be close enough. But
Right.
if I want them to do that, I'm gonna need them to do that for a reason.
Right.
They're not gonna just mill around there for half an hour, are they? Like,
Of course not. She is going to say, so we need a reason for them to come up here, which is easy enough. I think the harder part is giving us a reason to not be in the room when it goes off. And she points at one of the stone door to his room and says, those look pretty sturdy. I think that's about as far as we'll get. I don't think they'll let us run out behind them out of the crypt. And we still have to set it off somehow. So I'm thinking. Oh, sorry, go on. He's about to say something.
well, I reckon we can probably set it off with a delayed ritual. If we work together on it. I mean, you two seem a little magical yourselves. So presumably you can lend a hand with that. And then if we stuff you all into one of the rooms on the other side, hopefully that'll give you enough space.
And you can find a reason to return to your chamber. She'll say with air quotes.
I reckon So I reckon we can set it off like that, yeah. I mean, I don't need to be in the room. Command words exist.
And then she something lights up in her eyes and she says, "You said you were gonna give them power, right?
Yeah.
You could, if we can tidy up one of the circles a little bit, maybe we can tell them that that's where you have to do the sacrifice, and that they just have to be that'll channel power to the crystal, and just standing around near it will accomplish that."
Maybe. Maybe. That might just work.
But that's kind of what I said.
Is it?
Yes. I was like, why not just get them all around, like, to do a ceremony or pretend that they're gonna be there for the sacrifice and then light it up?
Oh, well, shit.
Oh yeah.
You're smarter than you look.
Oh,
He's gonna
Yeah?
say she's not about that.
Yeah,
And
am I,
you
buddy?
might be sensitive to that, and he points at Tulip's fists.
Cows a little bit and takes a step back.
You're pushing
it's like
it.
straight up just bursts out laughing when he says that. He sort of like after sort of being bent over a bit, he sort of stands up and he's like, "Man, you've got to warn me before you say stuff like that to Tulip." Oh boy.
B is going to say very sternly to Chris, "No laughing. We don't want them to overhear and think we're having a party in here."
Okay, what do we need to do?
Right. Well, everything's already in the chambers. We need to set it up to prime it. We want to close and preferably block the doorway a bit. And then we all hide in the other room. I'll call them in.
And
Should we lie on the floor and look defeated?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Tulip will dramatically slump over.
Or in the other room, preferably.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just,
we don't want to be in here when it goes off.
You really don't want to be in here when it goes off.
sure.
But you do need to set up that ritual first.
Mm-hmm. Chris,
I
we
guess
still
help
need
him with whatever he needs.
Yes. So, could I ask from the two of you the higher or preferred of your Arcana and Occult?
Amazing.
They are both the same.
All right, fingers crossed. I can roll higher than I've been doing.
Hey,
Hey!
Learning power.
I'll roll
one
one.
brain cell. One brain cell.
Oh no. Oh, Trevor scuffed his bit a bit, but he seems okay with it.
Fucking Trevor.
Right. And by the time you're done, both the crystal here and the crystal here is glowing a bit brighter, and there's definitely a little bit of a humming coming from the other room.
Gotcha. And she's going to look at our friend here and say, "I might want to get a move on before."
Yeah, go for it.
All right. And with that, she's going to, I guess go. I guess if that was it, then she's going to go into the other room with the others. And
Yeah.
Oh, Tulip.
Mhm.
That door could do with a bit of extra blocking. Would you like to do the honors?
Absolutely. What am I rolling?
An athletics to move either, well, something heavy in the way of the door. I'll make it your choice. But it can't
Okay.
be that because it's too big.
Beans. Yeah, I'll try and move, like, I don't know, a spare rock or something heavy enough.
Just a random rock, sure.
Well,
Bit of one of these circles, maybe.
yeah.
there's also a lot of bodies. Oh, I guess they're already bones.
They
so.
they don't add a lot of oomph. Okay, so you close up your own door just as you see Trevor moving back to his seat, and from your hiding place you can hear him command the orcs to attend him, and the sound of heavy feet shuffling in.
I'll attend him.
Zigga,
Yes.
There are 2 orcs on watch left above ground.
Okay.
Fuck them up.
Would you
So
like? Would you like?
every other orc in the camp went into the crypt that
Yes.
I saw them go into, but these 2 are remaining.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm gonna stay here for the time being.
Are you sure? This is your in on the scene.
Oh well, okay. I mean,
But well, I'm basically giving you an opportunity to not sit there for another little bit while this goes on without you, because I'm cognizant
yes,
of the fact that you haven't been present.
I do want to join, but like logically, if I saw all of the orcs go into the crypt and then I tried to also enter the crypt, it would be quite difficult.
Sure, but
Yeah.
your options aren't limited to being in the crypt and not being in the crypt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't mind trying to like enter the camp.
Sure.
And like, I mean, I assume with 2 orcs, I saw how big the camp was. It seems like it would be relatively easy to slip in unnoticed.
I will bring us back to reference that all the other orcs are still present, but we can fix that. It'll be they're gone. Oh, that didn't actually select anyone. That's disappointing. I put them all on the background layer.
Oh, that. Uh-huh.
So we are left with
Humpty and Dumpty.
Humpty and Dumpty over here, yeah.
Oh yeah, so then I'll just slip in over towards the top and start making my way like into the huts to look like see if there's anything of particular note that I can like scramble together to be useful. Like if there's anything like any magical objects, for instance, that they would have been brought in
Oh fuck! I
that
put you on the background layer as well. God damn it!
that they didn't bring to the thing, or like bombs, or anything of note.
You're finding a lot of javelins. You're finding a couple of like magical tchotchkes and trinkets that don't seem to be of any particular functional value. And a lot of orc day-to-day paraphernalia.
Okay. And then like just like potentially moving over like right here and looking down and around. Is there orcs like literally milling around right at the entrance to the crypt? Or is it
They all seem
Are
to
they-
have gone inside proper, apart from the 2 on watch at the top there.
okay.
Speaking of, could you do a stealth?
Oh,
I mean, you're literally sneaking into their camp. That seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Ooh. What did I give them? Oh. One of them is looking over and squinting. And you're fairly sure he's clocked you. But then he's like, nah, must have been the wind.
It must have been the wind.
I must have seen the wind.
I like this guy. He's by a warm campfire. He's like, fuck it.
It's
I wanna
probably
get out.
fine. What's one cat boy gonna do?
One of them is probably one of them is probably one of the one of the people that got downed.
Yeah, that's now canon.
Oh,
That's
no.
why
It's-
why
the guy that spotted me is like, I'm not
Hold
gonna
on.
go for it.
They're
Tangle
still,
with those people.
they're still on the wrong layer. Let me
Oh no, that one guy is like, "Look, I need a moment. Alright, Steve, just shut the fuck up. I just need a second."
The unlucky one and the laziest one.
Yeah.
I don't have a thing for lazy. We'll just go with it.
Fair enough.
We'll remember the other one is lazy.
Yes,
I
yes.
honestly don't know how effective I can, because I know my limits, and I
I love
I
you
don't
can just
know if I
sneak in
have-
through the door, right? And
Yeah.
Well, that's the logic part. It might not be reasonable for him to want to sneak into the door.
Right, because if you think about it, like, there's 30 something orcs in a crypt, and I know approximately how big the crypt is. The odds of me sneaking in and getting past the orcs in a crypt that I know approximately the size of to get to y'all doesn't seem very likely. Like I can get closer which is what I've done by moving into the camp so that I can be able to hear and possibly.
Let me bring this back here so we can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're assuming that there's like roughly 30 something orcs in this room, then where am I supposed to go from here to get,
Right.
to be
especially-
able to be helpful?
Well, if you have a peek through, they are all moving up and clustering towards the top as he's beckoning
Right.
closer.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go inside the huts and start looking around, and I'm actively listening for the inside of the crypt for audio cues to act.
Sure.
If one of them comes outside and sees you in the tent, are you going to pretend to be an orcish lady?
They
I
are
don't even know.
famously full body hairy.
Yeah, no, I'm actively listening. I'm actively listening for the crypt's noises. 'Cause if I start hearing them come back out of the crypt again, I'm gonna bolt.
Sure.
Um,
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything else before this all goes off?
Nope.
Nope.
If
Oh.
we've successfully blocked off the door, then I think that's well. Just in case, B will do what she said and try to tidy up the circle a little bit in case something goes wrong and they come in
Sure.
and what's going on. But probably not much. And after that, just goes to hide behind like some of the plinths.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, you hear the sound of heavy feet from orcs shuffling in, and they talk for an interminable length of time, with the orcs audibly becoming more irate and aggressive, and Trevor's facade cracking a little. All while a gentle hum builds in the background, building, 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 until, in an instant, your vision is washed with a blinding white and your ears ring, the world around you shacking and cracking around. Please all give me a fortitude DC, including Zigga, as you got close.
Oh shit.
Trevor, no! This wasn't part of the deal.
Oh, we can't
It's
make
my
like
usual dice rolling prowess.
Oh no, Chris. Oh no, that's a crit fail because it was a 1.
Oh.
Okay.
Here's my usual dice rolling prowess.
Okay. Zigga, you are dazzled for the first round of the next combat. Chris, you are dazzled for the first 3 rounds of the next combat.
What does that actually mean?
You can look it up on your path builder. It is all creatures and objects are concealed from you.
So you have mischance, basically.
Yeah.
Well, we can't we didn't even get the chance to run out and save the dumb asshole.
Well, my next question is: is there lots of yelling now?
Yes, in fact, there is a lot of yelling.
Okay, so
Hold
B
on,
is
wait,
going.
wait, hold on. I need to move us over.
Okay.
This is a phased map, but bitches.
Ah, I
Jeez.
gotcha.
We have a tulip. We have a bee. We have a Chris. You're not where you were because I didn't remember where that was.
Fine.
And you can see the door is cracked, and through it you can see bad times.
No, Trevor.
Is he dead?
He doesn't look well, but he also looks relatively intact.
Oh, jeez.
You
Let me
can't
get out.
you can't really tell from there whether he's dead or not. The door has cracked in half, and beyond it you can hear yelling, groaning, and what you suspect to be orcish screaming.
That seems like a good audio cue. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way into the crypts.
Sure.
I'm just gonna run up to check on Trevor.
Let's put you there, and let's reveal the hall.
Sure, yeah.
As you move out into the hall, it is fucking carnage. Orc parts are scattered throughout the hall, some of them seemingly half vaporized. Trevor's body lies still against the door, the chair there. However, some of the orcs still stand, badly damaged, but fucking apoplectic.
Am I to understand, based off the way that it looked, that more than likely what happened is Trevor, as everything was about to go down, he dipped under the alcove, which obviously doesn't protect him completely, but at least shielded him a lot.
So he did mention earlier he was able to shield himself, and he did in fact shield himself from the magical energies. He did not account for the big rock.
Can I drag him into the room to get him out of the way?
That depends. That depends entirely on initiative, I'm afraid, because there are orcs in this room who are very sad. I did not make an initiative macro. I forgot to make an initiative macro.
I'm probably gonna end up wasting an action to do something in character, which is probably
Did
fine.
I not have him selected? Did that not roll? That rolled. Why did that not appear on the initiative? Because I rolled perception.
Yeah. So
They're all very fast.
Apparently, yeah.
Give me
well, I'm
flashback.
dazzled for like 4 rounds or whatever the
3
fuck it was.
rounds, yeah.
Just do things that don't require attack
Boom.
rolls.
Speedy blind, Chris.
He
Oh my
flails
God.
around wildly.
Oh my god, everyone's so fast.
They are so fast.
Okay, Zigga, you are still blinking a bit.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
There we go. I've given you a thing. And I've given
Wait.
you a thing.
I have a macro.
Microphone. That sound like, oh my god, everyone's in the fucking 20s.
What?
Every
Oh,
single
all
person.
the initiatives, yeah.
Yeah.
That is 18, 20, 17, 17, 19, 18, 18. The lowest there was a 17.
It's kind of insane.
This is a high roll
Whatever.
night, apparently.
When everyone is fast, no one is fast.
Yeah. But the fastest of all is this orc warrior, and he is not happy about how things have gone. And he sees you burst out of the room at the top, and is like, "The fucking prisoners did this."
Good thing we don't understand him. We
Yeah.
can censor the swearing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So he is gonna move with 2 actions up to Tulip and try and smack Tulip. And miss Tulip.
Bitch.
That's a fucking god awful attack.
That was the worst. Tulip, you are next to an unconscious and currently unmoving boy and a large orc who is angry with you.
B, are you gonna try and get this guy out of danger, or do I need to? Because I don't know if this guy's gonna let me. Well, I could yeet him a little. That
I
probably
can,
wouldn't be
I
good for his
probably-
broken bones, though.
You can see, just flavor-wise, you can see B already starting to cast a spell, and it seems pointed at the guy.
Cool. Alright, Tulip is fucking angry. Tulip is going to rage,
Mm-hmm.
and then take a shot at this guy with her bastard sword.
I am perfectly happy to assume that you have it out,
Yes.
given the setup for this particular combat.
Yes, thank
So
you.
feel free to whack him. Oh shit, son.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's +4, right?
That
for
is
the rage.
an additional +4. Yeah. Wow. That guy has just been bisected. It
Bitch.
continues. Bisection.
Is that like Inception?
Yeah. He was an orc and he had a sword placed inside him.
Oh.
It was
So I-
incepted within him.
I have one more action, or no?
Yes, you do.
Cool. I'm gonna move here,
Sure.
and that's me.
Chris.
I'm gonna flail angrily.
I know what I'll do. I'll summon a shitter because I don't have to like look at anything to do so. So I will make a shitter, and for the sake of ease, I'm just going to make a tooth fairy because I think it's the generic combat one. I think.
Let me
Not
know if you
entirely
want other
sure.
options, and I'll get them.
I'm just seeing whether whether I'm better off with a. Huh. What is like the best like I just hit things one? Is it a tooth? Is it a mitt flit?
It's not an awful check to beat concealment, by the way. It's a DC 5 flat check. So you're
Yeah.
1 in 40.
Oh, it's fine. I don't have a problem with summoning a dork anyway. Fist. One comes with a short sword. Whatever. I'll just use the Tooth Fairy and it will go attacking.
Sure.
I can summon it next to them, right? Yeah.
I think you might need line of sight.
30-foot
Yeah.
range. Do
I'm
I?
fairly sure you need line of sight.
Yeah,
Oh.
line of effect.
Okay, whatever. Fine. I'll just. It can move here and attack him. There
Yep.
we go.
No, Tulip's not gonna be happy about having to watch this thing rip out teeth in front of her.
That hit.
Oh, was
at
that
least
an
I
attack
see.
roll? Yes, that will
Yes.
hit. Yes.
It does 1d6 bludgeoning. Beep,
The
boop.
character sheet, I think, should have the attacks on it.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Lol.
Yeah, that hits him. He's having a tooth pulled.
Yeah.
He's not happy about having a tooth pulled.
Well,
Uh,
he should have gone home, shouldn't he?
he should have gone to Specsavers.
Okay, I guess that's that.
He should have had a V8.
That was... Yeah, they get 2, don't they? Okay.
Yeah.
It is that guy. He is sad. He has a big old fucking knuckle daggers, I think, that are going to try and find a home in Tulip. That will probably hit
Yes.
for 5.
How much? Yep.
That will not hit.
No.
That will probably also not hit.
No.
Sadness.
The knife is just stuck in her and he can't
Yeah,
get it back.
yeah. Why is your flesh so tough?
And she's just sitting there staring at him with murder eyes like, no, please keep trying.
Yeah.
I can wait.
B.
B is going to spend one action to run up to here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to finish casting her spell, just in flavor, which is a 2-action heal on our friend here. Trevor.
Okay. He sits bolt upright with a gasp and starts babbling in a language you don't understand.
Okay, that's fine. That means he's still alive. Let's see, 58 plus 8, 11 hit points.
Cool. I'm still going to leave him crossed out because he is not in the combat, but he is not in danger of dying.
He is going to shout to him to get into the other room if he can understand her, but otherwise she's going to turn her eyes to the surviving orcs.
Sure.
Okay.
Second orc boy has not seen Zigga as he is too preoccupied with the prisoners. And is going to move to here and throw a javelin at Tulip because Tulip is just such a tasty target right there.
Grief.
And probably miss. And then also miss again, holy shit. Come on, orcs, can you roll more than a 5, please?
No.
Having a bad day. Give him a break.
They really are.
Yeah.
Oh no, what's this? Oh, Tulip probably, right. Zigga.
Well, yeah, so he moved to within 1 square of a 1 movement thing to within 1 square of two movements. He's just outside of my 1 movement.
Oh,
now.
rip. That's unfortunate.
But yeah, so I'll spend 2 movements running up behind him, and I've got my I forget what it's called, surprise attack thing. On the first round of combat, I can catch him flat-footed, even if I don't have flanking or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'll stab him in the back.
Sure. Can you do me a flat, because your eye fucked. Can you give me a flat roll to d20, please?
Oh yeah.
Just.
That's over.
You make it. Yes, that'll hit.
Okay, so that's a 2d6 plus 2.
Okay. Cool. He howls and is very unhappy with being stabbed in the gut by
Keyword?
2 swords.
Just one.
Just
Rapier.
1 sword. Just the
So
one.
this is the wrong order for things to happen. You're supposed to get skewered and then cooked.
Wow.
Rude.
Rude.
That's what he's thinking.
Orc Warrior is dead. Tulip.
Well, I mean, Tulip's gonna swing on this guy that's currently got his dagger in her tit.
Rivulets of milk running down his arm. Wait, no, that's not how it works.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, that'll hit. He's still up, though.
Then I guess I'll do it again.
That'll miss.
Beans.
Then you do it a third time.
Oh.
Or at least I assume.
Yes.
That'll definitely
Long,
miss.
Apparently, I'm losing a lot of blood as this is happening.
You're losing off the tit juice.
Oh, no.
Chris.
Well, I'll give 2 actions to the fairy because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And then I will walk around here and I guess I'll nudge fate on B.
Sure.
So I need to just roll a d20, yeah? 'Cause I think that
yes.
requires a target question. Yeah, targets one creature.
If it is targeted, then yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you
you're
go.
fine.
So you get the +1 thing.
If
sure.
it would make a
If
crit
you
fail
need
or
it,
fail
yeah.
or a fail or success, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then my tooth fairy does stuff.
Oh yes, Tooth Fairy.
This lad is still standing, right?
He is still standing.
I guess that means I get to tooth tug. Yes. So it now has 2 persistent bleed damage. It doesn't. I don't need to roll a check. It just gets 2 persistent bleed damage.
And you can add another tooth to your collection.
Yeah.
Because my last action was the thing, so
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Tulip needs a
And then I will. Am I best off attacking something else? Are these the only 2 standing?
Currently, yes.
I guess I'll attack it again. Whatever.
Sure.
That's probably gonna
Your
miss.
commander did go down in 1 hit.
That will miss, sadly.
That's it from me.
Okay. Orc Warrior now missing a tusk and also most of his torso. Orc Brute, sorry, he's still mislabeled. I never did fix that. Tulip's tit is looking mighty meaty.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no. Lol, miss.
Ain't nothing he can do about it, though. Oh no.
No. Oh my god.
Oh no!
Wow. He's not having a good day. Holy shit.
Oh, this boy is so distracted by the tit.
Man, maybe he just really likes boobs.
Maybe.
Booba.
Oh
the
no.
boop is too strong.
Tulip booba.
Been too long for him.
Oh no.
Oh. Orc women actually don't have tits. So.
Are they not mammalian?
Confused.
Sorry?
Are they not mammalian?
Yeah, no, they're mammalian. They have tits. Just you can't see them.
They're lower down. They're more like udders.
They've got crotch tits.
Oh my god.
Me, it's your turn.
In character, I know what to do. Out of character, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with the other 2 orcs from the camp. But let's see. I'm just gonna see if this. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, B is going to run up to here, and she's going to be snapping her fingers as she goes down.
Oh my god, it's a fucking musical.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, they need to save against that one.
Yep. DC
That's a
17.
button. That's a button I need to press.
Yes.
Oh
that's
damn.
good. That is not.
Okay.
Whichever it is.
We'll go top to bottom, so this guy got -6
It's saved for half, so the other guy takes.
Oh,
three.
is it saved for half? My bad.
It's basic.
Basic save. Sure.
Yeah.
He is still standing.
There you go. That's all of my actions, so I'm good.
Okay. Second Orc Warrior has been shanked in the back with a rapier. Guess who's not happy about being shanked in the back by a rapier?
Bring it on.
Wheels round. Misses.
No tits here.
Goes for the second strike. Crits!
Oh,
Dagger right to the whisker.
Wait, oh, that is a crit. Okay, so he can't miss on a 20 no matter what,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Because
yeah.
that would miss me.
he missed because he turned around, and then he crit because there was no booba.
Yes.
So he was like, God damn it.
The infuriation at lack of booba or inbooberation was too much.
How does he go from 3 points of damage to critting on with 14?
Well, the 3 rolled a 2 and the 14 rolled a 6.
I guess I just don't understand. How does a dagger do 14 points of damage?
Well, it does 6 plus 1, which is the dagger roll plus strength, and then it's doubled. Because he crit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He did a max roll for it, so.
Okay, well, I'm down to 3 hit points.
He ain't fucking done either. But he
Oh, no.
misses.
But he misses. I'll save
Yeah,
you.
that's definitely a miss.
Yeah. Okay. Zigga.
Alright. Yeah, he literally had to roll a crit on his second and third attacks to hit me at all.
He's still going to try because he's a meathead orc and he wants to punch you, but yes.
Okay.
That will miss.
Yeah.
That will hit.
Damn.
I just realized you called his weapons knuckle draggers rather than daggers.
That's what they're called,
He's a gorilla.
apparently. That sword to the nip, he's not happy with, but he is still up.
Okay. Alright,
There's
last
a lot of
hit
nip
then.
action today. I've got nips on the
Yeah, I was
brain.
about to say, there's a lot of booba going on.
That will miss, I'm afraid.
Boob.
Okay.
Tulip.
Okay. Tulip's gonna trust that, her siblings can handle this poor bastard. She's gonna come over here. And I think that's 2? Shouldn't be.
That's probably 1.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a swing at this guy, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely looks like he should go down. But he does not
But he
go
did.
down.
I guess I'll swing at him again.
Sure. That time he goes down. Fuck me.
Bitch!
Yeah, okay.
Holy crap.
Chris,
I'm still dazzled, I think.
for one more turn, yes.
Is this guy still standing?
Yep.
Well, I'll do the Tooth Fairy attack. Sir.
You can D-tooth him.
That will hit barely.
Sure, so just 1d6. LOL, max damage. Also, did he take his persistent bleed damage
He
last
did,
turn?
yeah.
It stacks.
Does it actually?
Yeah?
Pretty sure.
Oh, I guess I'll do it again then. And he
Sure.
can be more sad. So now he has 4 bleed damage. And I will. This is dumb. I only have 2 actions. I don't really have anything else to do. I'll walk out here and just, like, I don't know, wait.
Okay.
You'll go. I can't really do much else, unfortunately.
I will take
He'll
your
trip
eye off
over
of
an
you.
old body.
The guy who is still standing is barely fucking standing. He's lurching around like a motherfucker. But he is still up, and he doesn't really have it in him to move, so he's just going to stab at the Tooth Fairy.
Will he just bleed to death? Oh,
You might actually hit that.
I think he does. I don't think it actually kills it, though. which is impressive.
It's got 8 health and an AC
Yeah.
of 15, so yeah. And then he's just gonna do it again. And then he's gonna do it again. And he's really punch drunk right now. B, would you like to try and finish it off?
The answer is she's gonna give it a glance. The answer is actually probably no, and she's gonna run over and attempt and throw a healing spell at Zigga instead.
Oh.
That's her last spell slot here. Let's see. 2 action heal again. Oh, okay, that's good.
Nice. Back to full.
Cool.
But that will be all. She's basically just trying to put a bit of distance between her and the orc who is still barely up.
Sure. Zigga.
Zigga, anticipating the same thing that B was, and that the 2 orcs are probably going to come in any minute now, is going to run over here and flatten himself up against the wall.
Sure. Stealth?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Tulip.
Well, Tulip's gonna come screeching back at this guy like a motherfucker.
He barely registers your presence at this point. That will miss, I'm afraid.
That's
That will
flanking?
miss, I'm afraid.
No.
Tooth Fairy can't actually flank, so no flank.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
do I get one more or no?
You get one. I know you moved. That's it.
Aw, beans.
Chris, you are no longer eyeballed.
God, how is this guy still standing? Did he take 4 damage at the start of his turn as well?
He did, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Tooth Fairy, go.
Yeah.
This little fucker has done the deed. I 1d27, but he crits, I guess.
The minimum damage on that roll will kill him. That is not the minimum damage. He is gone.
Exodia obliterate.
I mean, that's basically what just happened.
Little Tooth Fairy 1v1 the orc. Your Tooth Fairy really likes orc teeth, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this Tooth Fairy is doing God's work this this round, apparently.
Okay.
Not that I blame it. They're quite large and impressive.
There is groaning from above and groaning from where you are.
Above.
Trevor is babbling and does not look well.
Oh god.
I guess Tulip will try and pick him up so she can carry him back.
Sure. Could you do a perception for me as you pick him up?
Sure.
So, like, the whole of the back of his head and neck is just covered in blue shards.
Huh.
It's like he's been shotgunned in the back by birdseed, or birdshot, but the birdshot is blue shards.
Oh no.
Does it look like he's going to die immediately?
No, the heal seems to have done a good enough job of keeping the blood inside his body. But it sure as shit can't be comfortable.
Well, we'll need to get him back to the university then. She'll carry him on her back.
Sure.
B is going to ask very nicely of Chris to see if he can diagnose the getting brained by crystals with medicine.
Chris is like still rubbing at his eyes, and is like, yeah. What brain? What?
Your
He
ears
sort of-
are also ringing a bit still from it. It was a
Sort
big
of wanders
boom.
over and has a look.
Oh, and now you're properly out here. I should reveal more of the map, actually.
Yeah, the right side, if there's anything.
I'll take a looky loo.
Sure.
Okay.
Give
What
me,
do I need to roll?
Occult or Arcana.
Oh, okay. Hiya!
Those crystals contained magical energy and had certain enchantments. Whatever those are, they're likely having a side effect on him as a person after such an intense braining. But they don't seem to have penetrated his skull. So it's probably just a concussion, a flesh wound, and lingering magical effects.
What does Chris say to explain that? Does he basically say that?
He sort of rubbing his head, looks at the crystals, thinks for a minute, and then he's like, they're like leftovers from all the junk that just exploded. It, it will suck for a bit. He'll be fine. Let's go.
Okay, that didn't invite my scathing counter comment as much as I hoped it would.
What were you expecting from him?
I was expecting you to do something like basically have Chris explain more or less how fish did, and then she was gonna comment, "That's not what I meant, you dolt. I meant, can we take them out, or should we take them out?" Because Tom did a commentary on like the magical side effects and stuff, but that's not what I'm concerned about. That's not what V's concerned about.
Oh, well, that would be a medicine check then.
I mean, Chris looks at the back of the guy's, like, it's in his head and stuff, right? Like back of his neck.
back
and
of it,
whatnot.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He like just looks at it and is like, I mean, if it's like an, fine. If it's like an arrow, then no, not until you're somewhere you can sort it out. But I'll do a medicine check, I guess.
Why do I have a 4 modifier on medicine? And I still rolled a fucking 8. Cool.
Well, you rolled a 4. It's a big variance, I'm afraid.
Yep,
Um,
I got a 17.
You got a 17.
Again.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's mostly a flesh wound, and the healing stops the massive head bleed that came with it. You could remove it, but it would probably just lead to quite a bit of
Start bleeding again,
yeah,
right?
It's probably best to leave it until you're somewhere safer.
And he sort of looks at it and just, it's just like, no, just leave it alone. You'll just make him bleed again.
Alright, I say we get the hell out of here.
She nods and says, "Well, hopefully that babbling is temporary." She's gonna just peer at the gaping void out of curiosity, but.
So, yes, there's a lot of charredness. The main structure seems to have held, but indeed part of the roof of that area of the crypt has been completely blown off.
Okay.
Man, this is worse than a really bad hangover. Ugh.
I dare say this is a bit rowdier than the parties you've been to, she says very dryly.
Oh no, because there's a frat boy now.
A frat boy who gets violent when drunk.
Yes.
He does not get no.
That's why he wasn't invited back.
I shan't have him be a fucking violent drunk.
Sure. Fine, it's your character.
Don't you god mod me.
Nah, it's fine.
So, out of character, the Trevor had shown us a runestone earlier. Can I assume that we have at least that one intact?
Oh yeah, you probably pocketed that from him.
Mm-hmm.
That was- Okay, so then I guess just gonna give the fallen orcs a wide berth in case any of them are actually still up somehow or waking up.
Beacon,
Oh.
you a spell on me. Or do we have a healing potion?
Does anybody object to the idea of us just going around and making sure that the orcs don't wake up?
I mean, I don't want to slit their throats, but like...
That's literally what Zigga was thinking about doing.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't want to watch.
Okay, well Zigga's gonna wake his way around the room and make sure that they don't wake up.
Okay. Most of them are what a doctor would describe. They have what a doctor would describe as an injury incompatible with life. The first one, however, that Tulip fucking apparently bisected, somehow he's hanging on.
What? Really?
Yeah, he's barely fucking alive. He's not a combatant, missing his legs. But to be honest, slitting his throat would probably be a mercy.
The two halves of his body are.
That's what Zigga's doing, is providing mercy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Chris like looks at the guy, sort of kneels down, cuts his throat, turns back to Tulip and is like, "You can't deal with that, but you cut him in half."
The
last little bit.
dichotomy between Tulip's rage and humanity is great.
We will search his body though, because if anybody has anything of particular use, it would be him.
He's a big, beefy orc boy. He has big, beefy orc things and a big, beefy orc weapon.
Does he have
Okay,
a
well,
big beefy orc butt?
He did
This
before
is-
you cut it off.
You can
Wow.
cut the tooth off for later use.
I mean, but is his big beefy orc art weapon? Is it something that Tulip might want? I don't like. I don't know what. Like, is it loot?
It can be loot if you want it. There is a limit to how much I want you picking up a dagger off of every single body that exists in the game. But if you want to take one of these orcs neck splitters, that's the thing we can do.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to find the loot in the encounter.
There may not be.
There
any.
isn't any.
This is this is more of a quest, and I'm assuming that the quote unquote reward is going to be in the form of a quest reward.
Well,
Basically.
yeah, he was finding information for us in exchange for us doing this.
And also gave you 10 gold at the start of the request in order to gear you up.
Yeah,
You-
which
you
we
ha-
didn't use any of.
Which you didn't use any of. You've pocketed that all as profit so far.
Yeah. I like the idea that the tooth fairy sort of, before it disappears, flies over to Chris and like proffers up a tooth.
No, it
Like a
wants that
fucking
tooth.
orc tusk, and it's like, no, it's like, yay, look at me! It's just like, look at me, Dad, I got a tooth!
Are you
Two,
proud of
actually.
me,
You're
father?
And then it just fucking vanishes into the ether. And it's just, Chris like sort of watches it go, scratches his head, and it's like, those things are so weird.
Before Zigga goes around slitting throats, B is going to ask him why he was standing or why he was hiding in the corner there. Presumably getting the information basically that there were two more outside.
Oh
So,
yeah.
While Zigga's going around finishing them off, B is going to pointedly ignore that and basically just be peering carefully into the darkness outside.
You see no orcs from the vantage point you have,
Okay.
but you can hear orcs. I will give
Okay.
you a bit more
How many
space.
can I
but it's-
hear?
More than two.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Do we have any healing potions, by the way? I think I asked, but I didn't get an answer.
Oh,
I don't- so-
yeah, I'm carrying one. Are you particularly hurt at the moment?
Nah, just asking for the future.
No, I've just got a gaping flesh wound in my tit.
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember exactly how much they heal.
D8, I think.
I think Tulip has taken like something around 8 damage total, one from the punch to the head and then the tit wound.
Restores 1d8 hit points.
How much are
Is
you
it-
missing?
Oh, that's right. I took 4 as well, didn't I?
You did.
I'm on
It's like
9.
8.
But isn't Zigga on like 2?
I
I healed.
was. Yeah, I got healed to full.
By B.
Oh, in which case, like, Chris will like fish around in his pack, pull it out, like, here, just drink this, and just sort of hand it over. And he's still looking around for Tabit at this point. It's like, where is the fucking cat?
Well, question: do we need to exit the crypt right now? I mean, we're not in any super time crunch. The guy will have more time to recover if he gets a chance to rest for a little bit, and we're in a defensive fortification where we know where they'll be coming from.
Yeah, so just roll a d8 to see how much health you get back from it, Amber.
Okay.
Chris will sort of, I assume you had a conversation about the fact there's people outside,
Yes.
and he'll
Yeah.
sort of like peer around the corner out the thing, and be like, "Why haven't they come here yet?
I don't know.
Did they
But
just
there's
run
more-
away?"
No, there's somehow more of them than I saw. I don't know where they came from.
Fast multiplication.
Wisdom checks?
Yeah,
Parthogenesis.
sure. I can do a wisdom.
Maybe a scouting party came out,
Why not?
came back.
Maybe.
Wisdom. Yeah.
I have no wisdom.
Hey,
I'm
you got a
still
decent wisdom.
You have the most wisdom, and in fact, that much wisdom lets you clue into the fact that a lot of the energy from that explosion went up.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Right. Cool.
Oh. Did it by any chance blast some of them through the roof?
It probably blasted something through the roof.
Okay. So there
More-
might have been some on the roof, like above the crypt. Then I guess.
No, that's not what's being said. It's that we created a signal flare to any orcs that are in the region.
No, that was what was being said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. F.
But
There are some
they all
outside
came inside the crypt
Yeah, and then they got blown back out the roof of the crypt.
and lived.
They're orcs.
Well,
They're big boys.
Some of
That
them. Maybe
yeah,
not all.
that's an answer.
I'm
Okay,
not saying they're living the high life out there. They're probably badly injured, but they're there.
They're pretty high.
Um,
Sure, go on.
of all the people that could potentially carry Trevor and would be militantly capable, I think Zigga is probably the best one to carry him, given my strengths and my relative combat capability. I think we should just book it.
I would agree.
Um,
You would agree.
Tulip is stronger.
Tulip's stronger, but Tulip might have to fight, and Zigga is much less capable in a fight than Tulip is.
Oh, I see. You're gonna be a coward again and fuck off, right?
Oh my god, please. Beacon. Well, actually, how built is Trevor? He said he's like 5'9", right?
Yeah, he's a 5'9" nerd. He's not that built.
Sure.
Also, friendly
well-
reminder: Tulip's on 12 out of 22.
Did you
But
roll?
you
Did you
know,
roll the
Trevor-
D8 to regain
I
some
did.
health?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll the
3.
three.
Well,
Oh wow.
okay,
that
well in that
sucks.
case we can swap, and I could be the fighter in the sense that, like, we're
Beacon
just trying to avoid combat.
He can probably actually carry the guy. His legs might scrape along the ground a little bit, but she is so in character. The reasoning is she did work on a farm for a fair bit, and she has done some manual labor. Out of character, she can probably still contribute if she has to like drop him somewhere, rather than having to drop him, then pull out a weapon, and then run towards whatever is coming.
Yeah, that's fair.
As a point of reference, carrying a medium creature gives a bulk of 6, which
Okay.
would put B at her maximum.
Yep.
Zigga would be encumbered, and Tulip would be absolutely fucking fine.
Okay, sure. Then in
Tulip,
that case,
Tulip will carry him as originally planned. I might need a heal spell B, but I'll do my best.
I think B's out.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
out.
up for now.
Well, if I
heal
die,
you
I
some.
die. Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, so you're leaving the crypt?
The
Yes.
general plan is to escape rather than fight, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And then we find ourselves back outside. And it's a fucking mess. There's bodies everywhere. And lots of parts. The parts are the worst. I need to bring you all out here. Well, I suppose you can all bring yourselves out here technically, but I'm going to do it anyway. And where's he gone? Trevor is also out here, but unconscious. And you see some dazed orcs at the top of the ramp. 3 of them currently standing, looking very unhappy and ill. And they are looking down on you.
Imagine
Could
just
do an
sitting around a
intimidation.
campfire playing cards or something like that, and then all of a sudden your comrade's body parts are raining down on you.
That's pretty much what just happened. And indeed, a lot of rocks destroyed most of the barricades as well. This pig, noteworthily, got jostled out of his box. You may not have noticed that little detail, but he was originally in a box, so I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. Can we just like give them
Just picturing you. Picturing you taking the time to do all of that, and they're like, "Wait, this fucking idiots are not going to notice.
No,
I'm going to
not
have
at
to
all.
specifically
I,
point it out."
I bet you didn't even notice that this campfire had fallen over either. It was originally
noticed
standing in a teepee.
I noticed that. I was actually looking right at the teepee back when it was up.
Can we kind of
Wait,
just
wait, wait, wait.
stare them down and just
What are
be
the-
like, really?
What are the roots?
Sorry, at the top.
It literally, well, though that's just I assume is Earth,
Oh yeah.
right?
like
But what are
bramble.
these?
Oh,
Did these
those were bushes, and they had all of the leaves scoured off of them.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
gotcha. I was thinking like they were roots, like from before.
No, there
No,
were
it's like,
bushes
what
there
happened?
before, and all of the soft bits got blown off. Yes, Amber, you can try and stare them down. I think that was your question.
Yes.
Yes, that would be an intimidation.
I'm gonna look like an idiot again, aren't I?
Okay, you have clothes on this time.
No,
Or,
fuck you.
Oh god, what did you roll? I wasn't looking. Oh,
A 20.
oh my god, what's just happened? I've just lost chat. It's popped itself out, and I don't know how to get it back.
Huh?
Roll 20. What the fuck?
I think you can close it.
Okay,
and it'll go
yeah, I
back.
just closed it and it went away. Cool. Great. Love it. Well, they sure as shit aren't running down to fight you. But they're also not immediately moving out of the way.
Alright, can we just try and push forward?
Yes.
Can be fire a warning shot, basically.
Yeah?
If we're not like if this is not basically part of combat, she can just like cast a electric arc in the space in front of them.
Sure.
Okay.
Roll me then an intimidation with advantage.
Got it. Okay. I haven't made use of it yet, but I'm actually built for intimidation. So.
Oh shit, son. Damn! Yeah, no, they spooked. They're spooked and they jump back a bit.
Sure.
Oh, you know the nice thing is we didn't even blow Trevor's cover. If for whatever reason we need to use that again, we've kidnapped him.
It was all us. We exploded the thing.
Well, to be fair, if the ones who are here, some of them have blown out of the ceiling, then they were probably there when it exploded in the first place. So they might have a clue.
Come on, you two.
This guy in the middle looks very familiar to Tulip.
That's you. What?
Whoa!
Oh.
Teleportation.
Oh.
I'm picturing like we're all casually walking out of the thing, and then all of a sudden it's Tulip like anime like run teleports up to the guy.
The orc is like your starting mate all up in you. He succeeded his check.
I see.
He's not like trying to attack you, but he's definitely stepping up. Like his orcish expectations of toxic masculinity have kicked in.
Oh my god.
I guess Tulip will like chest bump him to continue with the toxic masculinity.
With that wounded tit?
Yep, I don't care.
Damn.
I mean, there's basically two wounds, right? That Tulip had. One was a head wound, and one was a tit wound.
Yeah.
Maybe it all went to the tit. You see what I
Zigga
mean?
walks over and pats the pig and looks back at the rest of the group to see what's about to happen.
Pass the pig.
Pats the pig.
Yay,
Oh,
piggy pats.
Pat. Okay.
You do have to walk past a couple orcs to do that.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
did. No,
They're
I
not,
deliberately did that.
They're not stopping you, but they don't leave. It's
Tulip's just
that
gonna-
awkward kind of, if you want to fight us, we'll fight you. We'll definitely fight you. But also, we just witnessed like 30 of our friends explode. And we got exploded. Like Jim over here got crushed by a door.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
He's having. He got crushed by a door. This guy got embedded into a wall by a big rock. It's a bad time.
I mean,
I'm a-
Tulip's basically just gonna stand here, like, between this guy and kind of the others to make sure the others can get by okay.
Sure.
Chris like
Uh,
walking up the ramp, just sort of trying to ignore the giant pack of orcs. And it's like, Tabit, you lazy git, where are you?
And you hear a meow come out of this tent over here.
Not out of the
Get
pig.
over here.
Zigga,
She sort
Zigga
of
is
walks out.
Yeah, perfectly fine, unscathed.
Zigga is like hell bent on getting some loot out of this inventor, and he will actually go find a piece of rope and tie it around the pig, and we're taking the pig.
Sure.
Livestock will sell.
It is a dead pig.
Oh, it's a dead pig. Oh
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's oh.
It was
Oh.
queued up. It was queued up to be cooked on the fire, but the explosions.
Oh, well then no, I don't care. By the time I get it back to town, it won't be good anymore.
Is it magically cooked? Is that different from regular cooked?
No, it was gonna be normally cooked.
Oh my god,
But
we're
it's
not
bad.
taking back fucking,
Cooked
like,
right now?
jerky.
Or is it just not cooked at all?
It's just not cooked at all. It's just a dead pig.
We could still maybe do something with that.
You let me
What?
pat a dead pig and you didn't even tell me.
How many pigs have you ever known to just kind of quietly sit in a box?
Some.
Fair.
Sort of wanders past Zigga messing around with the pig and just gives him a sort of very confused look. Like, what are you doing?
Wait. I can't interact with something that I think is alive and totally normal, and then it retroactively is dead, and then I'm the one that looks like a dumbass.
What do you mean retroactively is dead?
That thing was dead since you entered the camp.
You never told us that.
You never asked. You didn't look at it. What do you want me to? Do you want me to talk in this shit? Should I be describing every leaf on every tree?
Oh my god.
Just in case, yes.
It's fine. Your eyes are still a little fucked up.
Yeah, you thought it was alive. You petted it. It fell over on its side, and you saw inside its rib cage, and you were like, "Oh, oh no,
That's cute.
Snuffles, no,
I was gonna say. I was gonna ask if the pig meowed.
no."
Oh my god.
No.
Oh, I should have put Tabbit in the pig.
That's what I was thinking.
Fuck, that was a missed
Especially
opportunity.
for dead pig missing its stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if B starts to walk past Tulip, is there any sign that Tulip is going to follow?
Yes, she will follow once, like, everybody's
Okay.
clear.
Got it. No tugging necessary then.
I'm not actually going to step that far away until Tulip is clear. But I mean, I think that we're not going to fight.
No.
But if Tulip did want to engage in a fight, I wasn't going to get that far away. Until
Beat
Yeah.
beat them with Trevor.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, once everyone is clear, Tulip will give the guy in front of her another look, grab Trevor, and move past him while not breaking eye contact.
1 second. Oh yeah.
Wait. Hold on. I just realized we were just previously playing a Pokemon game, and in this game, so far we have a 1-for-1 instance of Tulip catching one of the enemies and bringing him to. So we got to catch one of these orcs before we bring him back to civilization.
No, we did. We caught their leader. It's fine.
Yeah. In a way. As you go by, the orc like bumps your shoulder like dickheads do when you walk past them. Could you do a reflex save, please?
How do I reflex? Hang on.
Can you make several attack rolls after that, please?
Oh no.
Oh no.
You dropped Trevor in this bush.
Oh my
I-
god. What's this?
Oh, I'm gonna. Can I bump him back?
Oh yeah.
How do I do that?
Roll athletics.
I guess we never taught Tulip about de-escalating.
Okay, that hit. I guess he'll do a reflex save. Keep that
That's not
parity
fair.
up.
This guy is only rolling good.
Hey, 19 is pretty hard to
That
oh.
that
No!
that continues.
Oh my
Chris-
god.
He's
Chris
fine.
is- Chris like is watching this going on, and then for once, with no joviality in his tone at all, you just get across the yard. Tulip, move.
The other two standing have their hands on their weapons. They are ready.
Oh my God.
Enough. Get the idiot and move.
Fine. Philip will get the idiot and move.
Okay.
Like, no joking, no nothing. It's just like I'm tired of this shit. Fucking move.
We're fucking done here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bee will pat Tulip on the shoulder, understandingly, as they start walking away.
Okay. You exit the camp without much resistance. It is probably about midday. It's still a good day's travel back to Norhau. Trevor is still not really lucid, and you're all very sore and uncomfortable.
Well, Bee just wants to get back to somewhere that isn't here as soon as possible, so can bear with a bit of discomfort as far as she's concerned.
Let's get back to civilization.
Do we think that we have enough stamina to forced march back to Norhau?
Given the... do me a survival. That's a survival-y
All of us?
thing to know. Well, it depends if
Survival?
Zigga's vocalizing that in character.
Yeah, I'll say it in character because
Yeah, do you guys think you can make it back,
Yeah.
basically? Right.
Why did I roll well on that, but not at the orc who was like Cinderay at me?
I really like the idea that Tulip is just a wizard when it comes to like all things that she should have no clue about, but then as things that are actually relevant to her character, she bumbles.
She has a direct soul link to the Akashic Records.
Like you're like making occult checks and stuff like that, and rolling 20s and stuff, and you're just like, I know about this,
Tulip's the
despite
exact
having
character.
no reason to.
Tulip's the character people look at from a distance, shake their head, and they're like, "That girl ain't right."
Tulip is certain that she can make it. Bee and Chris are both fairly sure that the group can make it. Zigga's pretty certain that he can make it.
Alright, let's
There
go,
we go.
fools.
Okay. You march and you march back through the woods. I will bring us back to the world map, as that seems to be the most relevant place to be right now. I have moved you slightly to the west of where you originally were, and you are currently trekking overland back down to Norhau. And about there, it starts to get dark. And about there, I would like you all to roll 2 will saves, please.
Will save.
Two
Okay.
will saves.
2 will saves.
Well, that's awful. Alright.
Did it actually do it twice?
It did.
What?
Seems like for all of us it starts off easy and then it gets harder.
I'm trying to make it where I can roll twice very quickly, but
Cool. Okay. You feel a power wash over you, and you are all paralyzed. And a number of figures rush forward, quickly taking positions around each of you. Roll religion, please.
Religion?
Religion.
It's the church.
Sure.
Saved us, right?
Okay, yeah. You all recognize the iconography and embroidery on their uniforms to be that of the Holy Order of Tritus. It is. They are members of the church. And they yell, and the leader yells at you. Who are you? Identify yourselves.
We're fucking paralyzed.
Well,
Can we talk?
In body, not in mouth. You can talk. It's fine.
Sure.
Okay.
In a very tired voice, he is just going to say, we were sent out by someone from the university. We've had a very long day. We don't mean any harm. Would you mind not?
Fucking off.
And
It's what, yeah, like Chris interrupts you. It's like fucking off.
I like to imagine that when we got paralyzed, Tulip just fell face down on the ground and is just muffled screaming that's gone on for minutes.
like that scene in Harry Potter, Petrificus Totalis, and Neville Longbottom just falls
Yeah,
face.
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the leader says, turns to one of his allies and says, Deacon Edgar, did the Zone of Truth hold? Yes, sir. Very well. And you feel the power over you lessen and you can move again. Apologies for the rough behavior, citizens. We're investigating reports of a large explosion in the area. No chances.
She
Oh boy,
nods.
do we have some good news for you.
Hmm.
Oh my god. B is going to give Tulip a look, and but she's going to turn back to the those folks and say, "It there shouldn't be any imminent or follow up danger. Would you mind if we talked about this somewhere not here?" And she gestures at the woods.
I see. Yes, we can arrange that. Edgar, get these citizens into a walking state. Well, better state than they are anyway. Priestess Lillian, I need to make a report to the Cardinal. And he goes off with one of the others. And the deacon moves between each of you, healing you by half of your maximum HP. They spend some time with Trevor, making sure that he's not dying, and then take up a bit of a position to keep watch for a little bit. But they don't seem to be holding you at all.
I still haven't gotten a firm grasp. How friendly is the church? I mean, like it's not like an authoritarian dictatorship, right? Like it's like the populace generally likes the church, right?
The populace generally likes the church. The populace are generally members of the church.
Right.
It's not ruled with an iron fist, though you have just met the military branch of it, so that's going to be a bit more authoritarian by nature. But they...
Sorry? I mean, but generally the church are allies. Like
generally,
they're not...
You and almost every citizen would consider the church allies. Your boss at the paper might not.
Right, yeah, of course.
So you might have some anti-establishment leanings yourself, but the general consensus is that the church is a power for good in the region.
Okay. And for what it's worth, B is a maybe not a devout follower, but is a follower to I would say like a middling extent.
Chris is not. Like basically, his kind of mercenary-esque, like, yes, I'll do it if you pay me. You know, if you want my time for whatever it is, pay me for it. Is not well looked upon.
Sure.
You probably observe the holidays still, just as a matter of culture.
Yeah, like Christmas, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but it's not like a holy spiritual revelatory thing for you.
No,
it's more of a cultural let's get together and you know be happy that we're alive and together.
In B's case, Dad was a cleric, so I think it kind of comes with the territory.
And your dad was, or you were alive long enough with your dad for that to have rubbed off.
Yeah, I would say so.
Whereas Chris's mum was a hag witch, so like I don't know,
a bit less so. So after a little while, Edgar comes back. Not Edgar, sorry. The main guy, the bishop, comes back and says, "There'll be a contingent waiting for you in Norhau. Please make your way there with haste, or as much haste as you can manage." And
that's what we were doing, but okay.
And the group of them gather up and then head off back north to go to the location of the explosion.
Do you think we should have told them about the orcs?
They look better than.
Yeah, well, they look more capable than us, and we probably could have handled it. So they'll be fine.
If it was clear they were going to head off towards the explosion site, we probably would have said something about there potentially being some injured orcs there.
Sure. They'll take that under advisement. And after they've left, Trevor is standing under his own power and looks like he's capable of walking. He looks very groggy, glum, and still quite hurt, despite the 2 rounds of healing he's had.
Yeah, we could give him like the Cliff Notes version of what happened and say we'll report in properly with the authorities.
Is he still babbling?
No, he doesn't appear to be babbling anymore.
Did they remove the crystals, or are they still there?
They removed them.
Okay. He doesn't have the Rocky hairstyle anymore.
No, you were probably given a little pouch of the remainder.
Okay. We can show it to him like these were your head teeth.
Yeah. Oh no. Cranium
Okay.
dentata.
No.
Yes. But I guess we can head back.
Okay. It's about another hour before you hit a road, and another couple of hours after that before you spot the spire of the Cathedral of Norhau, and shortly after that the University foyer. And there is a contingent of guards waiting for you at the gate. And for the
Okay,
sake
we'll
of
head right up to him.
present, we will go here. You're coming down more on this side this time. We got message you were coming. We were asked to make sure you made it back. Is this all of you, or should we send out a search party?
This is us.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless we had any regulars who we weren't aware of, this should be everyone.
This guy doesn't seem too bright. It's fine.
Okay.
Alright, well, you best get yourself to a proper healer. You look worse than one came out of Smithy last week. And then quickly dissipate, visibly worried about you, but reassured that you're not going to drop dead in the streets.
Awfully nice of him.
Trevor groans and says, I've got to report to the faculty. Do you have a way up?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
about
Yeah,
that.
I forgot about that.
We have a brute force way up.
I don't think it works for everyone.
Tulip will let out a heavy sigh.
But wait,
Have we still
Don't
got
we-
Have we still got the grappling hook?
You do still have a grappling hook, yes.
Can I just summon a Fae that can fly, have it fly it up there, tie it to something, then we just climb it?
Yes.
There we go, done.
This is the experience that comes with speedrunning. You
Like,
learn the
no. Chris has that moment where he goes, "Oh man, we don't have a way up," and he literally goes, "Oh shit!"
Oh.
No. Literally, he goes, "Fuck," and then has like a brainwave for the last time he did that, and went, "Oh no, we do." That's exactly what it just said.
no, you don't, I'm afraid. You haven't
Why?
re-prepared your spells since you last summoned.
right.
I've only used one.
Zigga can climb and has
I've
virtually
only
no
used
chance of
one
failure.
spell slot.
You're a prepared caster, aren't you?
We have 2 spell slots, don't we? Do we not
Yeah,
get 2 casts of first
di-
level spells?
Well, did you not prepare Deja Vu?
I get 2.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
each
you-
one occupies one slot.
Oh, can you not
No,
do?
That's
okay.
spontaneous casting.
Okay.
Prepared
Yeah.
casting, you have to choose your spells.
Like I was saying, Zigga basically can't fail. Like it's impossible for him to fall. He has a 5 athletics, which
Mhm.
is good enough to succeed half the time, and then the other half the time not fall, unless he rolls a 1. And then on top of that, like if I fall, I get 2 chances at a reflex save because I have the rogue luck ability to reroll reflex saves, and my reflex save is a +9. So like,
Sure.
it's
so
essentially impossible.
given you can only fail on a crit fail, like you can only meaningfully fail on a crit fail because a failure is a fail to movement, not a fall.
I would have to basically roll 3 1s in a row.
You are
Uh,
well. You're not under stress or being attacked, so yeah, you can just spend the time to walk up there or climb up there
Yeah,
at your leisure.
and then I have the strength to meaningfully plant the grappling hook in such a way that it won't fall and get everybody up.
Sure.
We get up the thing.
You
We
get
did
up
it.
the thing. I'm not going to make you fully exhaustively re-solve a puzzle you've already solved. Don't worry. Okay. Well, Sarah is, as always, present in the foyer, and she lights up as you enter. Master Orbach, you've returned. Please report to the Dean. Masters Laveau, Jackson, Ms. Hawthorne, Clifford, you are expected in Professor Gaius' office.
Question: when you say lights up, do you mean literally?
Yeah.
Oh, like with like LEDs and everything?
Well, arcane energies, but
The magical equivalent of LEDs.
yeah.
Okay.
She's got that little
Okay.
circle thing on a temple that the Detroit Become Human
Oh my god.
things had.
Sure. So B is gonna ask Trevor, do you think you can make your way there yourself?
Oh, just a fucking bout, I guess.
And she says, if you need someone to, if you think it'd be better if I go with you, just in case, I can do that. It's not a problem.
Sarah pipes up. Ms. Clifford, you're expected in Professor Geiss's office.
Or not, I guess. Well, if you think you can make it, then I'll. I guess I'll have to trust you then.
I'll be fine.
All right.
And he staggers off through the archways and he's gone to places unknown.
Guess we better go talk to the boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you also go through the archways to your own destination, which is here. And as you step into the office, you see someone unusual sat behind the desk. A tall, blonde woman emblazoned in Primus iconography. On either side of her are two tall and heavily armoured soldiers, and standing to the side of the desk, looking as if someone had pissed in his cauldron, is Georg Sternov.
Oh my god.
This is not where what we were promised.
Ah yes, we've been expecting you. The 4 sellswords from Flaxfeld. These are the ones, yes, Georg? And Georg affirms tersely, and she continues. My, you do seem to have a knack of getting yourself into trouble. 2 incidents of importance in as little as 1 week. I understand.
Man, he interrupts. If I'm here for a fucking lecture, I'm gonna go home and have it tomorrow.
Chris, he will say, and then.
What? My head fucking hurts. I didn't even know where Tabit was half the day. We nearly got exploded. What?
She's gonna interrupt him and says, "You're not 5. If you don't want to talk to us, just go over there." And she points like slightly behind her and just stand there.
Wait, I don't understand. Like, is she speaking to us like? It sounds like from your tone of voice that she's speaking to us like almost contemptuously.
Yes.
A
It
little
sounds like-
bit. It's that overly saccharine positivity that comes with a condescending middle manager.
Yes.
I don't understand the condescension. Ziggle sit down at the table or the chair, not on the table, like on the table.
Yeah.
No,
Just
sit down at
lounge on the
chair.
table sexily, like draw me like one of your dwarven girls.
Oh my god.
What's the what's the condescension for? We were employed by Geoff here, and then we were employed by Gyges. What's your issue?
I understand that you are looking for something. Perhaps I can help with that.
What do you think that we're looking for?
I believe you are looking for, shall we say, closure as to what happened in Flaxfeld. Surely you understand that this is a problem that the church has dealt with, and you really should not be looking into this any further.
Tulip's gonna march up, put her hand on the table, and be like, "Lady, you're pushing a line, and you need to be very aware of that line."
Well, I understand that this is a personal issue for you, but it would be a meaningful shame if one of you died. Primus forbid young Master Zigga be found in a ditch with 3 additional holes in his intestinal tract.
Alright, that's it. Tulip's on the fucking table. What did you just say?
And the paladins step forward, and they are armoured and mean-looking.
While this is all going on, Chris has turned around to B, and it's like, look, this is one of these people who all they want to do is tell you how you're an idiot and wrong, and how what you're doing isn't something you should be doing. And I really wasn't up for that this evening. I was going to come back, give whatever his name was the stupid stone, and then fuck off again. I'm not here to be like told I'm wrong.
B is now pretty much ignoring Chris. And I'm imagining that B walks right past Chris as he's saying that, and he's like turning to follow her.
Yep.
But she is going to use her incredible authority as older sister and kind of pull at Tulip's foot and say, "Get off the table, Tulip," in a very It sounds very calm, but they've probably heard it enough to know that she is.
Oh no, it's
pretty-
mum calm.
Yes.
I
Yes.
got off the table before you got over. Jeez.
Okay.
Is the church aware of your threats against us? I don't understand. The church is a force for good. Why are you trying
Can
to
I-
insinuate that we're going to be killed if we continue to look into this?
Can I make a religion check to know who she is, or at least what kind of figure she represents in the church?
Sure.
Based on the dress?
Yes.
Okay.
In addition to that, can we
No.
respond to what I said?
We will get to the thing you said, Zigga, don't worry.
Okay.
Mag. She's high ranking. You know
Fair
that
enough.
much. So sorry, Zigga, you were could you do
Yeah,
it
I
again?
mean,
Because it's left my
Zigga
brain
is-
now.
Yeah, Zigga's like obviously aware of the threat that she just made, but like I'm portraying myself as relatively ignorant, even though I think that Zigga would be more cognizant of the issue, the implications of what she's saying.
Sure.
But he's making the argument out of feigned naivete. Like, I don't understand why you would try to insinuate that we'd be killed if the church is a force for good. You know. Along those lines.
Could you deception,
Yeah.
please?
While he's doing that, do I know anything more about this person with that religion check?
You do. This lady is a cardinal. You don't know specifically which one, but they are like third top. It's very strange that they are here talking to you.
Can I
Also,
try to
question mark.
diplomacy this bitch? Sorry.
What is she doing in here? Aren't the university and the temple at odds?
Well, that is certainly a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so this is essentially a lie, I think.
Yeah, I would say it's I mean, I'm not outright lying. I'm just bending the truth.
I'm trying to
Or-
match it to an action in the game, so I know what I'm rolling against, and I think the closest one is lie, which is
obfuscating.
Yeah. Let's do that hidden because that's probably the way to do this. Oh no, she doesn't believe your naivety for a second, I'm afraid.
Can I try to diplomacy her?
After you
What?
just threatened her.
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably on like disadvantage -5 or something.
You can try. Please roll twice.
Okay.
What are you trying to diplomacy?
What
though?
are you trying to diplomacy?
I just want her to explain herself a little bit better, since the vagueness is not helping anyone here.
Okay. Well, thankfully that answer applies to both Tulip and Zigga in this case. Is Zigga present? Because I heard a mute for baby there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you'd had to run off because someone had done something.
No.
Cool. The world outside our borders is very dangerous, and it would be a shame if you found yourself without the support of a wholesome and caring community. If you continue investigating this distasteful event that has no bearing on present society, it is very likely that you will find yourself outside of the country.
That didn't answer my question.
Well, that's the answer she's given.
You're continuing to insinuate harm will come to us. I'm asking why harm will come to us.
Oh, I guarantee harm will come to you as a result of the things that you are looking into.
She's probably not going to be more upfront than that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
look, like Chris is like, look, she's not gonna tell us anything. For fuck's sake, why is a cardinal talking to us? Why do you even know I exist? Go away.
Oh my god.
Well,
Uh,
one of the paladins, you imagine they're shooting you a really dirty look, but you can't really see through the helmet.
Doesn't give a single fuck? He is so done with this shit.
Georg is smirking a little.
Okay, well, I like him a little better now.
He's a
Not that
dick, but
different.
he doesn't like the church either.
Sure.
All right, lady, listen. If you think that we're going or are doing something stupid by looking into this, you're either going to have to explain why it is that stupid, or you're going to have to leave us to our own devices. Now,
No. Look, Tulip. Sorry. Look, I don't want to fuck about with this for the next hour and a half. Look, she isn't going to tell us anything. All she's going to do is tell us, stop doing this or we'll hurt you. This isn't them explaining anything. This is them threatening us because we're looking to something they don't want us to, okay? Why are we talking to someone quite so important? Why are they in the university? How did they get here? Why do they even give a shit about us? It's all because we're doing something they don't want us to, else this woman wouldn't know I exist. As far as she's concerned, I'm some random ant. So, can we please move on? Right. What do you want, woman who I don't know your name?
I am merely interested in keeping our citizens safe, and at
Oh my
present,
God.
you are our citizens.
Oh my god, shut your whole ass holy mouth. I don't care whose dick you're sucking, be it God or not. Just shut up. Forever.
Okay.
No, Tulip, that doesn't work either.
I
Master Laveau, you have a lot of wisdom, I think.
I'm just trying to get to the bit where I get to go home and sleep. All right, I'm fucking knackered. It's like we've been walking all day, getting blown up and whatever. Can we get to the bit where you give us the terms of whatever the fuck it is that you want, and then we go away? Is that fine? Is that good? What do you want?
There are no terms. You
Okay,
simply
fine. Okay,
must
I'll-
stop investigating this distasteful matter.
How heavy is this table? Or
Too
desk?
heavy for you to flip.
Too heavy.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Okay, right. You said right when we started having this fucking pointless conversation. You said that were you implying that maybe you could give us something? Because if you can actually give me an answer, then I will stop investigating it. I'll go away. If you can give me an answer as to why it happened, then I'll go away and stop looking into all this shit. Fuck it, I'll leave the country myself, maybe. I don't even care. Why did it happen?
There is no why.
Can I flip Georg?
No. Well, I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't. The paladins will get involved.
God damn it, I'll flip them and their holy dicks too.
You are in the running to be bisected yourself if you try.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
okay. I understand Chris, but Tulip is kind of being flippant to the point of being out of character almost. Like I understand Chris's motivations, but it's just like Tulip seems to be doing LOL random. Like this is a fairly serious situation in character.
Well,
and I don't think
let's
Tulip would be
investigate then.
so-
What's Tulip thinking? What's Tulip's thought process and emotional process here?
I mean, it's mostly just, like, I don't know, like, Tulip's default state is either, like, rage or just be really, really quiet because she's afraid of people calling her dumb. And right now, it's probably a lack of sleep, lack of food, the emotional trauma of being told that somebody might know what the fuck is going on. You know, concerning that thing that, like, orphaned all of us and traumatized all of us. So she's kind of just walking around, not really sure what to do with herself because she's sad and angry and she can't do anything about it because she's not smart enough to get anything out of this woman. And that's upsetting her. So that is what's happening.
That tracks. That, as a character, that tracks.
yeah, for the record, Chris is more meant to be coming off as like exasperated and bored of this, as opposed to flippant necessarily. Like he can't be bothered with trying to talk circles around this lady because she does that for a job. Like
Yeah,
he just
sure.
wants a straight answer, and then he can go home.
Also, Tulip did grow up with Chris. Like, some of that had to rub off, right?
Okay. Well, I guess yeah, she's not really giving us anything to go off of. She's just delivering a threat,
I
and
mean,
that's
I
it.
don't think she's. I don't think she's going to give us anything.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Chris is hoping that she will give him like anything at all, which is why he is doing this. Why he's like, come on, just give me an answer and I'll go away, right? Like, yeah.
Can Tulip, like, exchange looks with Georg to see if we might be able to talk to him later and get something out of him?
Sure. What is that? Is that deception?
Oh god, I hope not.
I feel performance.
What?
Maybe? I mean, you're kind of like trying to subtextually communicate with him, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I guess there's really no reason to make that motive, because either he'll do it after we finish sneaking with the priestess anyway, in which case there's no reason to to signal him, or he won't, in which case there's no reason to signal him. Like,
I mean, she's
You
just
know what I
raising
mean?
her eyebrow at him.
Sure, that doesn't need a check. He acknowledges your eyebrow raise. What he got from the eyebrow raise is unknown, but he acknowledges it.
Cool.
Masters,
Okay.
mistresses, the truth of the matter is that your lives would be greatly improved by finding internal closure to this trauma and working to better your communities.
B has up to this point looked pretty conflicted because she is mostly looking at Tulip and trying to gauge if she needs to help prevent her from getting into a fight with one of the paladins, basically.
Yeah.
But
She's
seeing
gonna
as
call them fucking virgin dweebs at this point, but Tulip's otherwise calm.
sure, she B is then going to turn to the Cardinal and say, if we agree, can we go? And that's she's just gonna leave it at that for now.
I dare say that you can, yes.
Great. She'll have like a very I guess almost positive demeanor, and she'll say, "Well, guys, you heard the nice lady. Um, I think we can agree to that, and let's go so we can rest up. It's very nice speaking to you." And she'll give her a little, I guess courtesy is more of a noble thing, but she'll give her like a little bow of the head, and then she'll just without waiting for the others, just start to get up and start walking towards the door.
Tulip will follow
Man.
you.
Oh. I guess I just have to ask something.
And she turns to look at you.
Have you ever had to find internal closure for your entirety of your family being killed by some strange thing right in front of you?
Many citizens have had to come to terms with trauma of many kinds, and almost universally they
fuck that.
find
No,
themselves improved.
You.
She gives
You. Have you had to do it?
She fixes you with an unchanging smile, but there's definitely something going on behind those eyes. You don't know whether that means yes, or whether she's just failing to find an answer.
Nice. So that's a no. So that's another person in power where they probably shouldn't be, telling me to just get over it. You people are pathetic. And he just fucks off.
There are concerns here, young Master Laveau, greater than yourself, and it would behoove you to remember that there are more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh my god, shut up forever.
It's just like what?
And yes, Tulip does scream that across the room.
Oh god.
Yeah, you see, the funny thing is,
and with that, she fucks off.
I was like,
She's
funny
threatening
thing
Percy.
is, you still can't answer my question, bitch.
Wow.
Oh my god.
One of the paladins turns and gives you a look, but they just
Oh,
leave.
fuck off, mate.
And as the door closes, Georg catches your eye and is like, "Bitch."
Okay, if they leave before B does, she's going to turn around, and when the door closes, she's going to turn around, stare at Chris and Tulip, and say, "I get where you're coming from. Are you suicidal?"
Yeah, I'm not happy with the way that y'all handled that conversation.
I'm a barbarian. Yes.
So kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and at that answer, B is going to look at Tulip and says, "Don't give me that. We grew up together. I know that you're capable of better than that."
Yeah, I was gonna say, y'all have kind of entrusted me to handle the negotiations somewhat, and y'all dominated that conversation and took it in a very hostile way. Which, granted, I understand the hostility, but like we shouldn't be giving that information to our enemies potentially.
Giving what
You know, we can
information?
be hostile, but we don't have to be visibly hostile. And y'all blew any chance that that could have gone more smoothly.
There was no option for us to get anywhere. That was
Okay, well,
someone
there's
in power. That was someone in power telling us to stop doing what they're doing, or else.
right, and
That's it. That's
Okay.
all we were gonna get.
all right. Well, then I guess there's no reason for me to even attempt to ever negotiate with anything because you're going to make the decisions and act accordingly.
I really hope this is in character.
No, this is in character.
Okay, good. Just
Yeah,
checking.
yeah. We're talking to each
Just
other.
checking.
What the fuck? What? No. We're talking to each other.
Tulip will apologize to B very quietly and walk off.
Why? Why does this person even know I exist?
Oh my
Well,
god,
that's a-
Chris, multiple
that's-
people know you exist. It's fine.
That's something that we're going to have to find out as to where our current employer is, why Georg is here. And he gestures to Georg like he's acknowledging that he's part of the conversation. Yeah.
Oh,
How
I mean,
did
my
this-
assumption is that the fact that the guy we're employed by, or were employed by, was trying to find out information he really shouldn't be, twigged this woman, and that's why she is now involved. Or twigged someone who's high up. That's why we've just been ambushed.
Well, I mean,
About right?
I was
Georg at this point will speak up and say, "You're not far wrong.
Yeah, I thought so.
Unfortunately, Professor Gaius has taken an academic sabbatical to deal with family matters."
Yeah, bollocks. He's been ousted.
Children, you have put your foot right through the hornet's nest here, and you have already been stung. Be very careful where you step next. He's not telling you not to step, mind.
yeah, Zigga is just sitting there kind of defeated because, like, granted, this was already a sideways situation from from our relationship to the church, but then Tulip and Chris antagonized it so much that there's literally no like diplomatic avenue here anymore. Like it's been just completely shattered. Short of like Zigga and B going to the church and asking to speak to her again and trying to like make some attempt to patch things over.
I mean, to be fair, if you asked, Tulip would prostrate and fucking apologize to this woman.
Right, but Chris wouldn't.
No. No. If you tell Chris to apologize to him, he'll tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not weird behavior. You will have been used to him kind of flying off the handle with regards to this.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
like,
you're
Zigga shouldn't
entirely
be
acting...
surprised.
No, I'm not surprised, and I'm saying you're acting with entirely within character. But it's a very frustrating situation for Zigga, who's supposed to be the party face, to have like basically gotten no word in edgewise in the conversation, other than like once in the beginning of the conversation, and then it got progressively more and more and more and more hostile, and like he's just sitting here like, what the fuck am I even doing as the party face if I can't speak? You know?
I will say, out of character and like on a meta level, that was not a face situation.
No,
Right, I
yeah.
get it.
Cool.
It was not a face situation from an out of character
Yeah.
meta textual standpoint, but it absolutely was in
character.
character,
Yeah, sure.
and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't given
Yeah.
an opportunity to speak. And it
I
was
mean,
bullshit.
this is why the explanation you got from Chris was there was no point in talking to her. Like that's the, and also the funny and stupid thing is he explained exactly what was going on to her face, and then she said, "I think you're quite wise," and it's like, ta-da! Like so that's why he flew off the handle even more, because he's like, "Oh look, I'm right."
Georg will
What-
poke his head around the corner and quietly say to Tulip, "Do you often poke around in the belongings of people you don't know very well?"
Tulip's kind of sat there slumped over, staring at nothing, and will quietly mutter, "I just wanted to sit down."
I see. And I'll give you a little pat on the shoulder and then leave you to your moping.
Yes, I mean, like there's two things that I would have liked to have come out of that. He's saying this in character, but also out of character. Like, I would have liked to have less overt hostility, because that doesn't help our situation at all. Because like, even if we're going to continue to look into this, which we are, but even if we weren't, or we were, we don't want them to know that, and the more hostility we show, the more likely we're going to have to be under constant surveillance. And then the second thing is, if the church obviously wants to dictate the terms of looking into this because they're trying to figure it out for their own saving face and everything like that, we already know that's the case, then we never got an opportunity. I was planning on asking, but we never got an opportunity to ask, why don't we work for the auspices of the church for this endeavor?
Because
I'm not opposed to that.
they would never do that. They don't
Why
want
wouldn't
anyone
they
to
do
know
that?
what's going on with this.
Right,
No,
but
no,
the
no.
church
Like,
is investigating.
I have tried since I got out of the stupid home we were in to find answers, and all I've ever had is dead ends and people telling me to shut up, just like this stupid woman here. This is it. This is what I have had for what, 10 years? Because no one wants to know what happened, or the people who do know what happened, like the bitch probably who just left, don't want us to know.
Zigga probably had a very similar experience anytime he tried to go through an official channel as well.
Sure. I'm saying they want to control the flow of information, and they want to dictate the terms of the search on their own terms. But we've never, I haven't made an attempt to work with the church, like as a body, as a part of the church, either as
What
a
do you mean?
mercenary or within the church directly.
What do you mean dictate the flow of the search? They want to remove it.
That's not true.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
true.
Yes, it is true. They don't want anyone
you
to search.
Out of character, you said in the they're actively looking into it, and they don't want other people to look into it because they don't want to have the church be seen as weak.
Did I say
So they
that?
want the church.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
You
if I'm
said
honest.
that the church was looking into it so that they could they could be the ones to solve the issue, because they didn't want the church to appear like they were fallible.
No, the church dealt with it. They did the relief. They gave people homes and they made sure people didn't die beyond who had already died. And then that was it. It was solved.
Yeah, that was the impression I'd always had.
The social narrative is it was a big, horrible natural disaster or supernatural disaster, but it was a flip of the coin. Whether or not that is true is what you are essentially investigating, but that is the social narrative.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe I'm misled to believe that. I thought that the church internally was looking into it, and
We
they
don't
just
know that.
weren't.
I think. Is the
Okay,
truth.
So
even if I don't explicitly know it in character, I would assume it.
So, given Zigga's background and given what Zigga has done up to the point of starting the game, the most appropriate assumption would be that the church is covering it up because they don't fucking know and they can't figure it out.
Right, which would lead me to believe that there's at least some people in the church that are tasked with learning that information. Like I understand that they don't want outsiders poking around because it undermines them.
Hmm.
But I refuse to believe that there's like literally nobody in the church tasked with figuring it out
So
for the purposes of the church's glorification.
So that is like 2 layers of conspiracy deeper than you have any evidence for, but is absolutely believable.
Right. So that's where I'm going off of.
Sure.
Is I was going to ask, like, you know, if I was going to try to figure out a way to ask, like, be pretty frank, like we're not going to stop out looking, obviously, but like we could continue to look within the purview of the church rather than freelancing. But yeah, I hadn't figured out a way to word that yet before everything escalated to the point where they just walked off.
Yeah, I mean, Chris has spent a decade being told to stop. He doesn't believe they're ever going to let us continue. Hence he just couldn't be fucked with them and told them they're arseholes, essentially.
In character conflict.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I mean, like everybody's motivations make perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I'm just happy that he finally Little Miss Middle Manager couldn't actually answer the question. That was great. Fuck you. I mean, with that all said and done, like Chris looks over at Georg and is like, "So
What were
we
they
kicked
doing here?
the nest?"
Oh, do you know how many times I've seen a cardinal in my life?
No.
I can count it on both hands.
Right.
They don't often leave the capital, and they don't often leave the cathedral when they're in the capital. So whatever it is you've been doing out here for Gaius, they don't look kindly upon it at all.
Work for Gaius? What? We found and he like, I'm just gonna make the assumption he had it. It's like he fished in his pocket. It's like, I found this, and he points over at the giant stone, whatever. For that, that's all he wanted. He wanted a rune stone. What he was going to do was tell us whatever information he could find about the Mortifer.
And
That's
there we go again,
what's
then.
going on.
I did say you should leave that sordid business alone, but
yeah, so does everyone.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's called fear.
He's gonna ask Georg, is there, to your knowledge, is there any chance that they have this place bugged for them?
Absolutely.
And she's going to she looks pretty conflicted now for a different reason. Chris may or may not have noticed B has not made eye contact with him for, I guess, since the Cardinal left.
Like half an hour.
Yeah. And she is going to say, it might be best if we're not talking about it here then.
If we can't talk about it here, we pretty much can't talk about it at all because we might assume that one of us is personally bugged in our gear somewhere or something like that. I mean, this is the university. If they aren't powerful enough to ward against intrusive bugging of their university, you know, then there's nowhere else that we can talk.
It is not a matter of arcane power, young man. It is a matter of politics.
Excuse me. Also, we're all carrying a bug. We get given one at reception. He points at like the ID thing. It's like, of course we're bugged. They know what I'm saying.
Not the university, the church, and she looks.
Yeah, implying that Little Miss, all high and mighty, can't get access to that through whatever evil means she has at her disposal.
A reasonable assumption, Mr. Laveau, but they don't quite have that much pull, I think.
Exactly. Like we don't know that they've been here. They were here physically like 15 minutes ago. So there's a much higher chance they did something here specifically. We haven't even looked at the rest of the university, even if it's not outside there. There's a pretty good chance, and she gestures at
Georg, that there is a place we can talk without being listened in on by them.
Okay.
Fine.
Georg raises an eyebrow but doesn't confirm or deny.
Fine.
Should we then go to your office then, Georg? Do you have an office?
Whatever for.
Oh, I have to ask a question. Why did they drag you in here?
I suppose we could talk about that.
Okay.
And he'll beckon for you to follow and leave.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll follow him. Whatever.
And if you follow him, is Tulip following?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Cool.
think it's falling.
Okay, cool. You'll end up in another office, a little bit smaller, that I do not have prepared. And he will sit down behind his desk and say, it is likely relatively safer here. They pulled me in because I hired you previously. The people you discovered in my brother's lighthouse were not the fabled mystical merfolk. They were transmuted, and they were believed to be agents of our neighbors to the south.
How is Paul doing?
Dead.
Tulip is very sad now.
I believe, after being taken into church custody, he was likely tortured for information.
Chris kind of winces. Like, I kind of thought that might happen.
Perhaps you see now why the church is taking this quite so seriously. It is not a matter of 4 youths travelling the country digging up dirty secrets from decades gone past. It is an active matter of national security.
Why did they even threaten us then? Why didn't they just have us killed?
Who?
The church.
A shred of moral decency that remains in their heart, I suppose. You aren't.
Wait. That doesn't follow. What?
What doesn't follow?
I mean, if they weren't fabled mystical people and instead were agents of some other nation, that doesn't mean they then tell us to stop looking at this. They're completely unrelated. That's not logic. That's just like 2 coincidental events. It's got nothing to do with each other. They don't want us to look at this for entirely different reasons.
They don't want anyone involved in matters of national security to be travelling around the world spreading potential problematic information. They want you as contacts to this event to be controlled.
That makes even less sense. They threatened to throw us out of the country.
A threat to throw you out of the country is a threat of death. They hide behind exile. They call it exile, and it is death.
But how involved even are we? We killed some of them and left.
They don't know how involved you are. They can't be seen dragging in random citizens off the streets. And they can't be seen explaining it to you in case one of you is an agent. It's a delicate situation, and they would prefer to merely control you through fear.
Yeah, just like they do everyone else.
Well, people who know, perhaps. I suspect most citizens are quite happy with the arrangement.
Great. Whatever. Okay, fine. Now what? He looks at everyone else.
And
Zigga kind of just throws up his hands like, I don't fucking know.
If they wanted to know what we knew about the stupid situation, I wish they'd just said instead of hiding behind the other stuff we're looking into. I'd have just answered. I don't care about the weird fish blokes.
They know everything you could have possibly known.
Yeah, then why do they even bother with us?
Because you know.
What, the fish people existed?
Yes. That is enough. That infiltration was successful until a non-state actor got involved for completely coincidental reasons. They do not know how many different cells of transmuted people may be present throughout the country.
What
Yeah,
is
but I
the-
didn't even know they were transmuted people until you just told me.
They know everything that you know, but they do not know what you know.
I don't understand what the objective was with this, with the intrusion. Like, so these creatures were transmuted, like these people were transmuted into these fish people. A portal was opened up either by your brother or uh, them, and then they invaded the lighthouse and then remained in the lighthouse for a period of, what was it, several days, several, like a month,
2 weeks, near enough.
2 weeks, yeah, and didn't attempt to do any reconnaissance of the outside area. Um, they just stayed in the sinkhole, and then we came in and killed them. How did this achieve any of their objectives? I don't understand this development at all.
You are familiar with the concept of divination, yes?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say
It is easier to divine locations that are closer to you. If they wish to understand the logistics of the trading coast of this country, it would be much easier to do it when situated on that coast.
I mean, but you couldn't achieve the same objective by sailing a vessel outside of the coastal waters, like far enough away from the shore that you couldn't be seen, and doing the same divinations from there?
Perhaps I do not know the strength of their diviners, I don't know their strategy.
That seems like it'd be a hell of a lot easier than the convoluted machinations that they pulled off with what
But the
happened with your
fact-
brother.
But the fact of the matter is, they did do that, and if we assume they're not stupid, then there was a reason for it.
Given they
Zigga's
had,
just like
given,
puzzling over this in his brain.
given they had enough power to perform those transmutations and be involved in that subdimensional area, then presumably they are not idiots. Though
Well,
how well that translates into strategy and tactics remains to be discovered, I suppose.
and they weren't speaking in common; they were speaking in Aquan. Like I could recognize it as Aquan. So
If you were a cell, an infiltrating cell, would you speak in private in the language that people could overhear you in? If they had successfully killed 3 of you, and one of you had gotten away and told them all that they were speaking common with a specific accent, that would be
okay,
critical
I
information.
I granted, but the extent to which they kept their cover, even when they knew that they were all dying, like like the fact that their major point of attack was to summon a wave from the underground, bunker or whatever, like that all tracks with. Are you certain that your information that you've been given is correct?
Not at all.
Okay.
Who
Because
do you,
it doesn't
who
it
do you
doesn't
think it
make
came
sense.
from?
You're right. It doesn't make sense. And so I'm wondering if you were given false information.
The information that I have been given is what it is. It is ultimately not of my concern and not of my interest. It may be wrong. It may be incomplete. I do not know.
Yeah. I understand your point, and I'm just going to continue for just a moment longer for my own benefit. But like like we were down there in their underwater base which they would not have had any, or sort of underwater. You know what I mean? That they would not have had any reason to keep so incredibly detailed and in disguise or whatever. It was to the letter exactly what we would expect from this aquatic race that we thought we discovered.
You are thinking like a rational free agent and not like an indoctrinated fool. For all we know, their minds were modified along with their bodies.
I guess.
Unfortunately, as so many of them are dead, it is hard to... not that that is a fault of your behaviour. They did attack you, as I understand it.
I mean, why else did the guy in charge drown all of them?
Well, I assume he was attempting to drown us as a
Yeah. But he could have done like any other ritual of water power, and instead of drowning all of his buddies, just attacked us.
Well, I mean, everyone else was dead at that point.
He also did destroy the link to the temple.
Yep.
So you could say that you could assume that was his way of concealing the evidence.
He's just covering it up.
We did manage to trace that gate to a destroyed subdimension. It is no longer extant. So whatever he did, it did close the space.
Okay. Well, I don't even know where we go from here. Our employer's gone, so we're not getting paid for all of the work that we did. We didn't get any loot, and we don't have any information or anywhere else to go off from here. Zigga's looking kind of defeated.
You will say, well, what we could start off with is go to the inn and get a good night's sleep, and she will... she's still not quite meeting Chris's eyes, but she'll say, life will go on. We haven't we got out of the that whole orc situation safe for the most part. Let's leave it at that for today. It's we're all tired and
Tulip's grudging in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tulip's crying in the corner.
I wanted to go home when I walked through the door and saw the Cardinal.
And we can
like I said, I wasn't in the mood to be lectured today by someone who thinks they're super important. All right, Georg, thanks for all of that. Sorry if we caused you a whole heap of problems.
Couldn't have been helped, I suppose. Do be careful where you fling those hornets in future, though.
I didn't even know there were any. I didn't think they knew I existed. And Chris will just sort of like trudge out of the room at that point.
Is everyone going to follow?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
B might say to Georg, is this the end of your involvement in this then?
I hope so.
And she'll nod and she'll just turn to leave as well then.
Okay. And we will end the session there.
All right.
There are two things I will need from you for next session. And one piece of information I will give you. There will be a period of downtime, which I'm expecting to be probably a couple of weeks of character time.
Okay.
I will need to know what you want to do next, and I will need a level 2 character sheet from each of you.
Oh, we leveled up. Boom. We did it.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Sounds good. So, let's see. When you say you'll need to know what we'll do next, is there going to be any information on what's possible, or is this more of an open-ended question?
An open-ended question for now.
Got it.
We can refine things if needed.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Feel free to use some of that in-character downtime to look for leads if you can't think of anything specific you want to do.
Sure. Okay.
Chris was so close to starting an argument with B there. I nearly
know.
did.
I know.
Like when you were like, "Oh, if we say it's okay, we can just leave." Then he was so close to turning around and just yelling at you.
Sure.
That is a conversation that will happen at some point. Like,
Sure.
oh boy, he is unhappy. Like in so many ways is Chris unhappy right now. Oh no.
Since I'm assuming we'll probably discuss this in character behind the scenes as well, like even before we have that conversation in character. That was basically because she already gauged that it was not going to be productive speaking to her, and
That's why he didn't yell at you. Yeah, it was
That
his
was the most
assumption.
diplomatic way to just get away from them, and then kind of reassess the situation.
Yeah, that was kind of my assumption. Is why he didn't fly off the handle, because he's not
Mhm.
prone to doing that to you guys. Like,
Sure.
but yeah, no, that not self-righteous anger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Small Georg redemption arc, new complete asshole character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, way to humanize Georg by introducing a more despicable NPC.
Yeah. Georg got a bit
What were you
dwarfed there, really.
That is one way to do it.
I love it because Tom, we moved into the scene. I looked at who was up the other end, and just immediately both IC and OC went, "Fuck this!" Like just in my head, I saw it and was like, "Oh boy, this is gonna be a very happy scene." Oh
man.
no.
Yeah, I was looking forward to a theocratic campaign where the theocracy is not malevolent, and then all of a sudden we get the 180 and it's the Dai Li again.
So, to be
They're
fair,
not malevolent.
To be fair, that person has proven themselves a dickhead. A lot of the on-the-ground members of the church are genuinely benevolent.
Which I would expect.
Gotcha, that's fair.
Just some of the upper management is less pleasant.
I mean, it's only when you touch on very specific topics that you get the malevolence, I think. Unfortunately, one of those topics is precisely the only thing that Chris wants an answer to.
Honestly, it's
So-
kind of very much so like the U.S. government, honestly, in that regard. Is like, I think a lot of the rank and file members of like your average social worker is entirely benevolent. But like the U.S. wants to maintain like overt control over all the situations in the entire world, and if there's anything that would
Oh?
lead them to be no longer in power, they're going to fight that tooth and nail. And
we lost-
however hypocritical, however
We have
power
lost-
hungry they can be.
We have lost Amber.
I talked about politics and she's like,
Yeah.
nope.
Possibly true.
I mean,
Yeah.
fair enough. But yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no.
I do understand the perspective they're acting from, at least on the surface, acting from a perspective of national defense, and probably something religious in nature regarding the mortifer itself. So I suspect we'll be kind of working around them for a while until they get fed up with our shit, and then there'll be a conflict at some point, open or otherwise. But I suspect that's how things will kind of go.
Chris will vanish in the night one day. That'll be it.
Shit.
And you won't be sure whether he was killed by the church or ran away. And then you have a new campaign. Where the fuck did Chris go?
The Chris solo campaign.
Where in the world is Chris?
What?
It's like where in the world is Carmen San Diego.
Oh, sure.
I actually don't remember Chris's last names.
Laveau.
Lavo.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you came up with a last name for my character, and I don't recall ever giving my character a last name.
You didn't, but I needed a last name.
Oh, okay. So what did you call my character?
Fuck, what was it?
Fuck. Okay, got it.
Jackson.
Zigga fuck.
Jackson.
No relation.
Zigga Jackson.
Zigga
Okay.
Jackson. Feel free to change it or not use it. It is what your parents were called, and thus what you are called.
Fair enough.
But if Zigga chooses to go by a different name, then that's absolutely
Blackwing.
valid.
Yeah, I didn't even give him a surname.
Maybe he goes by a mononym in his adult life. That's absolutely fine. Of course, unless you tell Sarah that, they won't know, and unless you, well, frankly, the Cardinal won't care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
file a name with the church.
I think it's fairly reasonable to say that Zigga will respond to it if it's used, and he knows that it's designated for him, but he doesn't actively use it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's pretty much what Chris is doing, yeah.
But
That was...
random question: is the church the I guess de facto what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say seat of power in the country, or is there like they're a sovereign as well?
No, the church is the government as well.
Got it. Okay.
The country formed after a big war as a bunch of city-states being united under the church.
I see. Okay.
Hence why the names of all the cities but the capital are named completely different to the capital and the country, because they predate the country.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes things a little more difficult. But okay. Duly noted.
They're pretty integrated at this point. It's been a couple 100 years or something.
Yeah. I will say.
Oh boy.
We probably should look for some sort of ally who has. I'm saying this out of character because I don't think B would probably actively suggest this in character. But out of character, I think we should probably look for some allies.
Zigga
just
has
going
an
again.
ally.
Yeah, so
Well, Zigga has an ally, but also, like, I feel like we're quite a ways into allying with the university. I mean, we've done missions for 2 of their members, and we provided them, the books and everything like that. And I feel like
if
that's
as long as the characters still trust them, I would probably agree. They probably have ways to help conceal our activities because they're they're a magical university. And as long
and
as
there's the natural animosity between the university and the.
yeah, that as well. So most likely, unless that's all a ruse, they have reason to help us with that, or at least they have reason to. If we give them a good enough argument, so that there's something in it for them, they have no reason to deny us because they're in with the university, basically, or they're in with the church. Basically.
I will present a counter argument.
Yep.
The first job you did for Georg was a personal issue.
Right.
So you're kind of in with Georg, but only with Georg. And Gaius, the mission for him was official business for the university, but
Right,
as
he
a
left.
result, he has disappeared.
Okay, so I guess that's yeah. So then they do have a reason not to help us, and that's because the church tends to disappear people.
Well, there's that element of it, and also, like, aside from those 2 people, you don't really have a contact anymore.
I guess then the alternative phrase that is that we could try inquiring with, or we can keep looking at the university because we still do have access to the library.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and actually, no, there's a third person that we've helped, and that's what's his face, Trevor.
Yes, the student.
Yeah, so I would actually think that Zigga would one of the first things that he would do after today would be to write a letter to the dean and ask the dean if he would like an opportunity to speak with us directly regarding the matters that have happened over the last couple of weeks, specifically referencing Georg, Gaius, and Trevor, and basically if he's granted an audience, use that as an opportunity to speak frankly about the situation and ask if there is anything that we can do to assist the university and how he would or he or she, I guess I don't know, would like us to proceed going forward.
We might want to do some research on the dean prior to that, just because we don't know if the dean themselves is doing anything to work with the church. Because the cardinal got in here somewhere. I'm assuming that she didn't force her way in. So someone allowed it, even if begrudgingly. We don't know if it was begrudgingly or if they were more cooperative.
Well, and Zigga's not necessarily going to speak from a point of like open rebellion in the same way that Chris and Tulip were. Like, I mean, he's more along the lines of, look, I don't want any problems with the church. Like he, from that perspective, I don't think there's anything that, even if the dean is a secret agent working for the church or like is ingratiated with the church to the point where they reveal what he said, he's not going to say anything that would be damning. I mean, certainly not anything as egregious as what Chris said directly to her face.
I guess it's fair.
Chris is angrier than Zigga is.
Well, I don't know about that. Like Zigga might be very well be as angry. I thought I had a generally. I think Zigga would have had a relatively neutral, almost positive impression of the church. Zigga's relationship with the church would be pretty mixed because he's got it flavored quite a bit negative from one of the things in his backstory, but also like the church did their best to help him out as far as he knows, relatively early on, and he's got the, like as Fish was saying, like they're relatively benevolent on a surface level, the rank and file. So I mean, I think that it's just he understands that it's a political situation and it's complicated, but yeah, I think he has an overall positive impression of the church still. Like he's still under the situation. He's still under the perception that this could be flattened out and dealt with in a positive manner, even after the conversation.
Zigga is deluded.
Maybe.
For B's situation, this is a question for you, Fish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I guess how involved in the central church B's father was, but I imagine that this side of the church doesn't come as a outright surprise to B. She, I think, probably hopes that there is an amicable way they can work past it, but that's probably she also knows that's probably not going to happen given what the Cardinal said today. But where was I going with this? I've had a question.
But B doesn't even look into anyway, right?
What's that?
B doesn't even want to look into the situation anyway, though, right? So, like, the Cardinals' demand is kind of playing to B's benefit, right?
It's going to this not like, okay, the church tells us no, let's pack up shop kind of thing. So she completely understands where the others are coming from. So she doesn't want to obstruct.
Oh.
You dropped out mid-sentence.
She doesn't want to obstruct.
And that's it. End of story. Yeah, no, but actually, I should caveat that sentence earlier that I made. I want to write that letter and ask for an audience with the dean, either individually or with B specifically.
Sure.
Take our two diplomatic folks to come say hi.
Chris is perfectly diplomatic with literally anyone who isn't a church cardinal.
Or potentially in the League of One, you know.
I mean, as far as he knows, these people are at odds.
It's a very cold at odds, but it is at odds, yeah.
No, they don't like each other.
Yeah.
I mean, to be frank, if she hadn't started lecturing us in the stupid saccharine voice and wasn't obviously just there to tell us to stop doing what we're doing because we don't want you to, he also would have been unpleasant to her. But essentially what she said was, "Oh, it's sad that your parents all died, but shut the fuck up and get over it." So he's like, excuse me?
Mm.
Like, that's
Yeah,
the
no, no.
reason why she got that response.
Here's the thing though, like Zigga totally gets that and doesn't he's like he totally empathizes with the way that you acted, but it isn't conducive to anything, like anything productive anyway. It's conducive to potentially getting ourselves killed. But like righteous indignation at this lady doesn't help our cause at all. It just makes you feel better
Nor
in
did
the
anything
moment.
else. Nor did anything else there. There was no good outcome for us.
Okay,
So
but
he
we
was
only knew that going into like at the very end of the conversation.
no. So I'm acting off of character background because as I said, he spent 10 fucking years trying to get answers and essentially being told exactly what just happened to us there. Right? Like his entire his formation his formal formation years, the years where he learns, all of them he spent trying to find an answer and being told, "Stop that, no, stop it or you'll get in trouble, fucking no." So like he's well aware that there is no answer you get out of these people. So like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting, the evidence of a decade to be washed away by some random cardinal who, why the fuck are they even here? That's the issue.
We have at this point hard lost Rev as well.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think maybe his internet's gone.
Yep, that sucks. He was
Yeah.
breaking up a little bit before
He was, yeah.
before he disappeared.
I did hear the seagulls multiple times though
Fair enough.
during the session.
Always.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
No,
any
I know.
seagulls.
Yeah, I didn't hear. I don't hear him always. I hear him every once in a while. And this session was like I heard him twice.
It's probably from us, isn't it?
No, there's no seagulls from me. It's too
I'm
dark
pretty
for
sure,
them.
I'm pretty sure it was Rev's mic that they were coming
Okay.
out of. I didn't know that there were seagulls in Canada. I figured it would be too cold.
Oh, that lie you tried to do, Zigga. Or
Uh-huh.
Mike, they crit their perception.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought I might get away with it because it's not actually an overt lie. I mean, I
No.
didn't. It was diplomatic more than it was.
Yes.
I mean, I get not diplomatic in the sense of like diplomacy, but like diplomatically skirting the truth.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I still don't understand how they came to know what we were doing because like literally the only thing that we did that was about the mortifer was asking Gages for
Gaius, but yes.
Gaius for information about the mortifer on the conclusion of the job.
I got that right earlier in the conversation. So we asked him to find information for us, which he didn't have anymore, and he said, but I can get access to it. So while we were away, he went to get access to it, and in doing so alerted people to the fact that we were trying to find access to information about the Mortimer, which they don't want, which is why this whole thing happened in the first place. Like, him trying to find the info for us put people onto the fact we were trying to find the info.
Okay.
Plus the previous involvement in what is now a national security issue put you on significant radars.
We did also speak to the library lady about it all as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we've been covering our tracks or anything, but like the impression I had is that no one really knew who we were anyway. So
B was trying not to obstruct, and she was so successful at it that she literally phased out of existence for like 15 minutes.
Mm.
Rev? Was that Rev joining?
Rev did
Yeah,
rejoin, yes. Rev, however, is silent.
He's muting and unmuting himself because Discord isn't working. La 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 la.
If a rev joins a voice chat but no one can hear him, did he really
Did he really what?
join a voice chat?
How's that?
Yeah, you're living again.
My internet straight up just died.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything important happen while I was gone?
I was in the middle
No.
of saying, but
I don't know if what came through and what didn't.
No. There was an obstruction, I believe, was the last thing that happened from you.
You didn't want to B doesn't want to obstruct.
Got it. Okay. So B doesn't want to obstruct the party from doing that investigation because she 100% knows where they're coming from, and on some level, it might be buried pretty deep. She agrees with them. So even if on surface level unconsciously, she's not really looking to progress the search actively. She's probably the cogs are probably spinning somewhere, and she's probably like at least thinking about things that may end up being helpful down the line, even if she's not intending to. So my question basically was, given that she's probably gotten some stories about adventuring life slash being a cleric from her father, is there any chance that there may be maybe not a specific contact, but like what his like basically what her father told her was like a quote unquote helpful or trustworthy part of the church that's maybe less.
That is something you can absolutely spend your downtime looking into. To which, I mean, I don't have something prepared, but will
Of course.
probably be able to come up with
It's just a
something.
direction, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of
So,
these
like-
directions is going to have to be chosen at some point.
Right. Mhm.
Well, and some of the things that have been brought up can be done potentially out of a session, like in a, because if they're all relatively individualized, we don't necessarily want to spend session time breaking down conversations that take place between one player
Yeah.
and an NPC.
This
I
is
agree.
exactly what the downtime is intended for.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll say that I can that part what I just discussed can probably take a back seat. It was mostly I think B will probably look for mundane work for the time, or maybe something magical at the university. I don't know if they have anything like that, but she was just gonna do probably some work, and then maybe some thoughts regarding that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
That was just me basically suggesting if that were appropriate to you, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's probably not going to spend her time in downtime to look for that kind of information.
Which is fine. I'm not going to remember if any of you have said, I want to do this in my downtime right now. I'm not going to remember
No.
that.
Sure.
No, I'll send you a
pop it up
message.
to you later
Yeah.
as well.
Send me a message on what you want to do.
Sure.
Earlier rather than later, preferably, because then I have to make the session based on the results of that as well.
Sure. I'll probably send something to you later today. You don't have to read it today, but it'll be
Sure, appreciated.
Okay. I'm gonna make some dinner
Me too.
as it is now 7 o'clock. Thanks for game, everyone.
Tough.
Thanks
but-
for a
Yeah.
wonderful excuse to be angry in character. That was
Yeah.
funny.
I hope you got the closure you needed in terms of venting to the church at least.
No.
No.
No. He could have gone on for fucking hours, and I think that's why she knew. She knew that. That's why she ran away.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch, and then we'll see each other next week. Then.
Yep.
Yep.
See you then.
Catch you later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.